What's up? What's up? What's up? You know, I'm gonna give everybody. I'm gonna give everybody a second for a minute because I'm not gonna talk to you as officer, sergeant. No, I'm not. I'm gonna talk to you like reality dictates. I think people need to understand this very closely. Too many people think that saying certain key words to a person like myself is going to be cool. It's not. But I'm going to address this and I'm going to make it clear. I'm not going to do back and forths. I'm not coming as Officer Faulkner, Sergeant Faulkner, Officer of the goddamn law. I'm coming simply plain as Charles. And I'm speaking directly to you, DJ, and anybody from the island of misfit content creators and strags. I'm not doing the back and forth. I don't care what you say. But I'm going to address this very candidly and get my drift. Number one, I'm going to put this out there. Not one person here or in real life puts fear in my heart. There is no bitch in my system. Okay? Let's just get that out there straight. I've spent years dealing with insurgents, terrorists, criminal element that are much tougher, much more resilient, much more dangerous than anybody here on YouTube. Let's really get this understanding. That being said, we're going to keep it real funky. Nobody's catching a flight to see me. I'm not going to waste my money and resources to go see you or anybody here. Nobody's going to run up upon me because, one, physically, most people just can't. Okay? Let's just face it. Physically, most people can't. Number two, what consequence are you to me? I don't slum. Okay? I don't deal with arguing back and forth with somebody old enough to be somebody's grandpappy over frivolous bullshit. You don't make me any money. You don't put food on my table. You don't take care of my son. You do nothing for me. And don't let anybody over there gas you up or say they're going to do it on your behalf because trust me, they would not like the result. That's a promise. They would not. Now, I can easily just talk about you and say that you're just this fat, old, unaccomplished, bitter, slumming content creator who's trying to get some views. As much truth as I will be telling, let's just see about this. I don't care how many subscribers I currently have, which I've earned every last one of them. I never bought one. Hell, one of my shorts is almost has 1 million views. One has over 500,000. I've even had what? My salute to Kevin Samuels live stream. Even when I just had 1,000 people, I had over 800 live viewers. That's more than 99% of the content creators. Most even combined on one show. I have almost 20,000 views on that alone. I don't care if I get 5, 6, 7. I've already accomplished more in the short time I've been live streaming than a lot of people. Even Mr. Z, even BGS was like, wow. Because they brought that to my attention during that show. Let's go back into something. You're going to expose me. What, I was in the Army? What, I was in the Baltimore Police Department? I was in Iraq for 18 months? I got documentation to prove all that shit. But once again, we're going to ask this very important question. What consequence are you to me? How many people's lives did you physically save? How many times did you have to go against the most dangerous people in Iraq, in Baltimore, and subdue them physically? Let's put something out there. No. No. There's nobody running up on me thinking they're going to do what they want with me. Even larger men than me couldn't do that. Now, with that part of the silliness out the way, let's talk about something. You mentioned that I stole the Gray Faulkner Initiative. How did I steal a joint venture? Please tell me. You idiot. Because it was a combined effort by Cerulean Gray, the professor, and the officer, sat down after a stream and talked to each other and came up with the idea. Cerulean wrote the first draft. I put together my pieces and we consolidated. I can't steal that idea no more than Cerulean can because it was a united effort. Even to this day, I still give Cerulean credit to his part as well. Have you noticed it says Gray Faulkner Initiative? Because it's a combined effort by two black men who want to see and get the best out of young black boys and grown black men. What have you done to even be the equivalent of that? I'm waiting. What have you done? See, that's the problem with the black community. You try to knock down somebody who made an effort and was quite successful with the effort, by the way. You try to knock him down, but you don't say nothing about bringing that black boy up, pedestalizing that black man to reach new heights. That's not you. That's not your nature. Because you rather slum. Oh, yeah, we'll get to the point about calling your mother a whore. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it, and I hope you hear me. Don't act like you're a goddamn victim. What you going to do? Talk about my parents? Talk about people I care? I don't care. You don't know me. Even the people you surround yourself, they think they know me. Oh, you were drunk. 90% of the time, I'm not even drinking on here, bro. It's all an act. Woo. And last time I checked, in these United States, I'm over the age of 21, so I can leave you. So. Oh, that liquor and those cigars almost took you out. No. By the way, I was very gravely ill with COVID, not cigars or liquor. As a matter of fact, I wasn't even drinking a month before the shit, you dumbass. But let's get back to the insulting part. You want to play the victim because somebody talked about your mama. Okay. But you don't want to talk about how you sneak this and when you're supposed to be beefing with BGS and you bring other Negroes who don't have shit to do with your so-called beef into the fray. So, nigga, you're not innocent. So get the fuck out of here and eat all the bag of dicks you can find. Eat all the bag of dicks. And I told you, just like I told many people years before, keep both my name and my dick out of your mouth, especially if I didn't even think of you. First of all, I literally forgot about all of the motherfuckers who associate with you. Nobody was thinking about you. I'm too busy with Bay, with AB, AL, with Lewis. I'm too busy making political content. I'm not worried about what you're doing. There's a reason why a lot of those people either were exiled or exiled themselves. This is a new thing that I found out for you and others like you that I found out about when I was a child. If I don't like something or somebody, I stay the fuck away from them. I don't bring their names up. I don't try to message them. I don't try to get some slumming content out of them. No, I have nothing to do with you. Just like after I'm finished with this live stream, I don't want to speak with you. I don't want not one content creator, if I know them personally or through YouTube, to even mention that you're doing a stream about me ever again. Because I don't give a fuck about you or any of those motherfuckers there. And the classic Ruby, yeah, I gave you and Char some shit. Because when I had my GoFundMe, which I'll talk about in a minute, instead of donating, you're making fun of the men. Oh, these are supposed to be high value men. How many men in the manosphere said that or claimed to be? By the way, the 10 to 12 people that were supported by that GoFundMe, mission accomplished. Thank you for everybody who donated. Especially people who didn't even have it like that. Those are 10 to 12 young black men who had their security card clearance, private detective, and their gun permits, and they're doing quite fine. They're not on the street. When did y'all do that? When, how many people in the black manosphere in totality has done that? I'll wait. I'll wait. But to put that up just to make fun of people or try to, oh, well, these are the, no. Because there's many people whose names I won't mention quietly donated. They didn't need a grandstand. They supported what we have. There's plenty of evidence and pictures. You can go through my archives where those young men were speaking, where I was interviewing the young men, and the next day the young men were interviewing me. How many content creators actually do that in this space? How many? How many achieve that? To have a millennial interview Gen Z or Gen Z interview a millennial. That's called creating content without conflict. Let's look at this, right? Even as a part-timer, there have been videos, shorts, and live streams I've been able to accomplish years ago. So I'm already an overachiever. I've been averaging 150 to 200 people. So shadow banning by YouTube because of their pitiful ass policies. Oh, why you not with the Baltimore Police Department? Because I left. Why you no longer in the Army anymore? Because I left with an honorable discharge. Oh, you weren't really a sergeant. I was. Why did you start a security firm? Because that was my dream to do so. But if you're done, you're supposed to be a DJ. Stick to music. You talk about the subject matter when are black women the cause of the downfall of the black community? Well, did black men betray black women historically? No. Did black women betray the black community? Yes. All that affirmative action DEI shit, that was black women who gave that to gays and white women. That wasn't black men. Are black women having children by the best possible fathers right now? Or would they rather carry before they marry? I'll take carry before they marry. Let's look at that one time where that chick was living homeless in a car with her two kids and her mother. How come the mother survived and the two kids didn't? Why couldn't she put the kids with a family friend or a father till she got on her feet? When do you see black men doing that? Did you know you're 5 times more likely to be sexually assaulted as a child with a single mom? Did you know that every statistic for a single mother is negative for her children? You're most likely to go to jail, most likely to be a sex offender, most likely to be committed to a mental institution, most likely to run away, most likely to be a drug addict, most likely to be unemployed, most likely to be undereducated. If black women really gave a fuck about their community, to answer your question, and they can look, because these are supposed to be a lot of educated women, right? They can look on a simple chart to say black men as or men period as single fathers get the same results as two-parent households. If you really wanted the best for your children, then the best possible father should be nothing more than your divine obsession. But I'm going to give you this. Is that happening with the women? You could go back to like almost 40 years ago, or probably 40 years ago now, when they were talking about Gen X teenage moms. There was about 8, 9 of those chicks, and only one wanted to marry her baby daddy. They didn't give a damn if this man was going to take care of the kid or not. They even said, taking care of the man and your baby. Come on now. But do I think there's black men who contribute to the destruction? Of course. But is it the majority? No. The majority of black men don't even have kids and they're unmarried. Think about it. Statistically, if a black woman has 2 or more children, 70% of the time they're by 2 or more fathers. Come on. Does that sound like family building to you? Oh, but what you talking about, Charles? You can't say nothing to me because I raised my son successfully. What can y'all say about that negatively? I've raised my nephew. Who's in the army, about to get out after what, 13, 14 years. I've raised my godson who's working successfully as a private detective in armed security. And my godson now, who's about to join. My son's about to be a goddamn EMT. And we're going to train him for armed security. So where's the failure? Now, let's address the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe was a suggestion by my subscribers, not me. See, Dapper, that's why you that nigga. They act as if these single mom babies are exclusively from black men. Plenty of these babies are from other. Yes, one explain the 1.2 million black babies that are not sired by black men. Thank you, my brother. But see, I never had to get my nephew from juvie. I never had to get him from central bookings. I never had to get my son from juvie. I never had to get my godson from juvie. Even kids who had records, instead of breaking them down, I'm the one who picked them back up and spoke on their behalf to the judge and said, I will take responsibility of making sure this motherfucker becomes a contributing member of society. He went into the motor pool. There are men who has records on their who has records, and I help them get fulfilling jobs so they don't become a statistic and go back to prison. You know, the three things prison is supposed to be: a deterrent, a punishment, and a rehabilitation. I help rehabilitated so-called criminal element to be contributing members of society. Who else can say that in these spaces? Shout out to the brother Cerulean Gray. I don't care what nobody says about Cerulean. That man is all right with me. You can't do that man can do no wrong in my eyes because that brother saw the dream just like me. Now back to what I was saying about the GoFundMe. That was a suggestion by my subscribers. And many people on YouTube and off of YouTube actually donated. So it wasn't for me. Never was. So that shit that you try to pull, incorrect. And here's another thing about my Cash App and my PayPal. How many times, everybody in the chat, I go to everybody else's channel. If I don't donate, I encourage everybody to donate to their channel. How many times do I support other people's intellectual properties and donate to them? Because getting up here and speaking in front of a live audience is not the easiest thing to do. Whether if you feel informed or entertained, yes, you should pay for somebody's intellectual property. So what? If I, BGS, Art New Style, AB, Angry Man, anybody who takes the time to educate and or entertain folks should be compensated. Get the fuck out of here with man bullshit. Then all this shit about you don't have any women. Let me tell you something. I have never once judged my life off of how many women I have. By the way, on numerous occasions, on numerous live streams, on AB's, Art New Style, BGS's, Angry Man, and others, you've seen the women I've actually brought and I've dated or I know. As a matter of fact, shout out to Classic Ruby for nicknaming me Eric Whoremonger. I was called that for a reason. Never, ever, 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 ever needed validation from a woman to know that I'm a man. Sorry. You should be a man first without a woman's consent. Just like a woman should be a woman first without a man's consent. Sorry. Let me see what else do I need to actually talk about? Oh yeah. I'm gonna say something. If you're insulted by anything I say, and this goes for anybody, grow some hair on your nuts and grow some thick skin. You want to talk about, oh, I insulted your mom. Your mom's deceased. Guess what? May she rest in peace, paradise, and power. But don't get mad when you diss somebody, especially somebody who wasn't paying you attention, especially somebody who forgot totally about you. Don't get mad the way they snap back on your ass. Because once you insult them, especially unprovoked, the gloves come off, motherfucker. I ain't paying for shit. Don't stow the rock and then try to hide your hand. Don't do that. And that's exactly what you try to do. You came at me trying to insult BGS, and I ain't say shit about you. I forgot you were here. Do my thing. I'm not worried about you and everybody over there. Y'all there for a reason. Make content. You don't have to worry about me because I'm not worried about you. Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn, nor do I give a fuck. I'm going to stay jovial even in the worst of the days. Okay? That's why you're slumming. Because you can't make content unless it's some gossipy, drama, female-based bullshit. Because, frankly, that whole spiel, you were derelict in your masculinity, old man. Play your music. You're the DJ. Make people happy. Tell a joke or three. I thought we were beyond this beefing bullshit. That's so 5, 6, 7 years ago. What are you going to get on me coming to your panel? For what? You're not going to let me speak. Well, we could have spoke on the Discord. No. I knew nothing about you and all the existence. I'm not falling for no of that bullshit trap. Like I said, I don't care what your reaction is after this. Because after this, I want nobody to tell me you're streaming about me. I don't want to hear shit about it. I know multiple things off the rip. Nobody catching a flight. I'm not wasting my time with you. First of all, I'm gonna tell you this, and somebody need to write it in the chat. I catch villains, not feelings. Well, we already know that you're the towel boy in the Blue Oyster Art. But anyway, that's my boy Art a bit more. How you been, Art? I catch villains, not feelings. Okay? Get some thicker skin. I came up as the generation of your mama jokes. So when people say some egregious shit to me and I snap back at you, don't get mad with the comeback. As my parents taught me, if I hit a motherfucker, I should expect to get hit back. If I speak ill of a motherfucker, I should be expecting that comment to come back twice as fast. So don't play innocent, motherfucker. I don't care if you could call me fat or whatever. Obviously, I'm not. Doesn't matter if I was. So what? The only thing fat on me is my dick. Ask the females. Here's another thing. Well, going back to the list. Nobody's catching a plane. If I'm catching a plane, I'm going somewhere for vacation or to visit some good damn friends. I'm not coming to catch a plane to go, what? To meet a bunch of dumb motherfuckers? Hold on for a second, folks. I don't care. I truly don't care. You're old enough to be somebody's grandfather. I'm somebody's father who's about to be an adult. You're not sending anybody. If the person's sent, they're not gonna like the result. So stop that bullshit. Because when you say egregious shit, don't get mad when egregious shit back to you. I don't care from this point on. I'm telling all the people, all my boys, all my subscribers, everybody. I don't give a fuck what this motherfucker says to me. I don't give a fuck what the island of misfit toys say about me. They talked about Jesus, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X. They talk about Barack Obama and Donald Trump. They talked about Buddha. They talked about Einstein. They talked about Neil deGrasse Tyson. So what? People talked about my parent thought the goddamn time. So the fuck what? Don't like it? Just get the fuck off of social media. That's all I can say. Why don't you play music? Why don't you give your critique of music? I'm not here to go back and forth with a bunch of people. Like I said before, I'm the motherfucker who made Cynthia G run with one question. When everybody in the black manosphere, well, I won't say everybody, but 90 fucking 5% of the manosphere was scared shitless of her. And I asked that one beautiful question: what's the opposite of a beta male coon? And she could not answer and refused to do so. I still have to ask this one question. When BGS and myself broke down the book of Dark Ghetto by Dr. Kenneth Clark, did anybody have any smoke and wanted to critique anything from that? Of course not, because it was intellectual. Did anybody, we want to expose Charles? I'm black. I'm male. My name's Charles. Okay. And then you're talking about a goddamn lawsuit. If you find out anything public about me, it's a lawsuit. I could say your whole name on here, and how you going to sue me? Am I lying? First of all, you need to learn what the law allows and doesn't allow. Because, number one, you got to determine if it's liable or slander. That's first. And that's going to be really, really hard to do. And two, when you talk about certain shit, about I'm gonna send a white man after you. Nobody's scared of no white man. Get the fuck out of here. Number one. Number two, the other side can play the same shit as you. Get out of here. I am not for these drama bullshit politics. I'm not. I'd rather talk about how black men can make it in this economy. I'd rather talk about comic books and video games. I'd rather talk about how black men and black women can become multifaceted. I don't care for the beef. Really, I don't. I'm just going to tell you all this shit about, and this is the stupid part because the internet makes brave men of people, okay? I'm going to tell you once again, nobody in these internet streets put any fear in my blood, any bitch in my heart. Not one. I've been through worse situations, worse individuals. So all that huff puff fire bullshit does not scare nor intimidate me. Not one bit. So stop it. Really stop it. Oh, we're gonna come up on you. Physically, most men can't handle that. Stop it. Y'all need to learn about how to talk about peace and prosperity than trying to talk about some beef bullshit. And I'm gonna give you fair warning. Some of those people over there, the reason why they don't come back to fucking other people's streams, and I'm not gonna say any names because I'm that good of a chap. Some of those people, some people over there in that chat, the reason why they're not over in certain people's streams is because they're natural shit starters. I'm not a nice guy, but I'm an honorable man, so I'll actually warn you of that. The reason why they don't come to other people's platforms is because they're natural born shit starters. There are some people who just want to watch the world burn. But I think you're a smart guy who could figure that out. I don't care. I don't care what you got to say up to this point. I really don't. Because I'm done with the bullshit. If anybody comes up there saying, hey, you Charles Faulkner and got some bad intent, I will deal with the situation accordingly. That's it. That's all. And I'm talking about real life. These YouTube shits don't mean nothing, and nobody runs up on me in real life anyway. So get the fuck out of here. I think we're too goddamn old to be doing some sophomore shit like this. Because nobody's looking for no goddamn smoke. Really. What you should be doing is sitting down, eating your tapioca, waiting for the nurse to tuck you in and change your diaper. That's it. Do your music. Nobody's going to bother you about your music. Do some mixes. Do that. I'm not worried about y'all over there. I'm doing me. Guess what I'm going to do? As soon as I close this stream down, I'll probably wait 5-10 more minutes, open up another stream, or play Call of Duty, or Grand Theft Auto, or Street Fighter, or watch something on either Invincible or Sakamoto Days. I'm not worried about you. Lions don't worry about the sheep. Champions don't care about the losers. This is the saddest part about it. If y'all can actually come with something intellectual that a person may even actually have to study, that would be a miracle upon itself. But no, we got to go to lowbrow, low tier, dumb shit. You too old for this, dude. I'll be 43 next month. How old are you? Oh, if you say something about my real name, well, number one, I don't suck at games. Number two, you just suck at anything. Well, you'll suck anything for anything. So I mean, shit, you'll suck somebody off for a dime bag and a half full bag of potato chips. But anyway. What's up, All Star G? Brother Charles, there's an interview with Anthony Mackie out on the Pivot podcast, and it's great. I'm sure it is. I love Anthony Mackie and his work. He's been doing great, not just in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but a lot of his movies are great. It's funny that we can't talk about the greatness of black men, but we get more viewership and more people because of so-called beefs. This ain't no fucking beef. Hey, what's up, Snow Man? How you feeling? Hopefully everything's well. Doing okay. Doing much better. I'm just like this. I think too many people waste their goddamn lives doing dumb shit. I've seen it. I've seen very talented young men out there in the streets waste their lives. Man, Charles, can't wait for that Mark versus Conquest fight. This fight will push Mark to his limits again. Oh, yeah, you got to think about it. Even when I read it in the comics, Conquest was a motherfucker, dude. Oh, you want to talk about a savage old motherfucker who don't give a fuck? He makes Omni-Man look like Mr. Rogers. I like the Invincible War. I was hoping they would just somehow sneak in. They could sneak in Savage Dragon and Spawn. That would have been cool as fuck. But I guess everybody's holding their properties very tight, you know, or it might have been hard. I thought, I think McFarlane. I thought McFarlane and Eric, what is it, Eric Larkin? Damn, what is it, Eric Larkins or something like that, who created Savage Dragon? I was hoping they would give their licensing to it. But really, I'm going to just see this. Negan versus Glenn Part 2, yeah. Yeah, by the way, I always wanted him to play like Thomas Wayne if there was an alternate universe Batman, the Batman from Flashpoint. I thought he would be the perfect Thomas Wayne, even though he actually played Thomas Wayne in the Snyderverse. That would have been a very good play on it. But yeah, man, all this stupid ass beef from yesteryear. If that's the only way people can get their content, count me the fuck out. Like all this shit about doing this to somebody, doing that to something. No, get the fuck out of here, dude. Too damn old. Too damn old for this stupid shit. Because it's like this. If somebody comes up to me in real life, it's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be kosher. No. Me, I avoid shit just so I don't get ugly. And I expect many people to do the same. So, anything anybody else want to talk about? Because either I can end the stream because I already got what I needed to say off my breath. And do me a favor. I'm going to say this, and I really do mean it. Don't bring that motherfucker's name back to my channel. Please don't. I don't care at this point. I don't do the drama shit. I'm sorry. Fuck you. And now if you show up with cognac and cigars, we can make it happen. We can make it happen. Me and the cat make it happen. But all that drama shit, don't even mention me. Live your life because I'm living mine. You ain't making me money. Eric Larson. That's his name, Eric Larson. You're not making me money. I actually met Eric Larson too. I got original drawings from him too, by the way. Art. You will love it. I haven't met McFarlane yet. I met Larson. I met the dude who created Deadpool. I keep forgetting his name. The guy who can draw feet. He could draw feet somewhat.
Ooh, yeah.
What's up?
Hey.
Yeah.
And
we've talked.
Go ahead.
And we talked AB offline.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this. We're too damn old to be doing this beef shit.
Mm-hmm.
Too damn old. Talk about some comedy.
Shouts out to Eddie Griffin. Shouts out to Danny Glover.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that mother you talking about that left her 2 kids in the car is being investigated. As she should.
be. She should be. So should the grandmother. Why didn't you leave him with the family? Nobody, that's the important shit we should talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Why were those kids left? Even the dad, he's working. You couldn't call the dad. The dad could have made sure they had a place to stay. He even said in
couldn't
the
you have
interview.
relatives that would look out for him?
He even said in the interview, you could have called my people. They would have picked those kids up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what is it that women always want when they have children?
Control.
Mm-hmm.
Control.
It never's gonna stop. Control.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I tell people the more beef bullshit goes on this space, the less people will actually come to the space.
Mm-hmm.
It's trivialized.
It becomes trivialized bullshit.
I still got a
But
couple
that's what they
knuckleheads.
want, right? No, go ahead.
Yeah, I still got a couple knuckleheads. I guess they're trying to get me into beef, and I don't think it's worth my time to say anything about them at this point.
That's why I just said my last piece. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I'm done. Say what the fuck you want. Say your piece. I just don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit.
I've made it a point to just block a lot of people instead of getting into arguments with them.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I'm going to show my age right here. And this happened in Eritrea. Somebody, because we got kinfolk, because a lot of us had kinfolk stateside and whatnot. So whenever they came home to visit, they would bring like copies of Source, XXL, or Vibe magazine, whatnot, right? Somebody had this one edition of it, October 2000. It was one where you had Wyclef Jean on the cover. And there was like a 2-3 page article about beefs. And the main one they were talking about was LL Cool J and Cannabis. This was after the 3-4 or 2-1 song came out. And the journalist who wrote the article, he talked to a couple of upcoming artists, asked them why the hell were they putting out diss tracks to other people. And they were saying, we were just trying to get noticed. We wasn't really trying to start some shit. We were just trying to use people to get noticed. And the reason they were doing that was because they followed that blueprint from 50 Cent when he put out the song How to Rob. And I remember a few rappers just respond to that shit. But some people here trying to be just antagonizing people because they're trying to get clout, trying to get attention.
It doesn't
not understanding the price of it. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Here's the thing about you. I didn't even know most of these people that were over there were still on the fucking internet, which amazes me.
Hold on a second. Candy Gram for Mongo.
I wish that was something. That was a candy gram for me for AL.
AL's
not AL, AB.
AB. No, he's muted.
But
definitely not for me. Man.
To me, I look at this shit as a waste of time and learning.
It is. It's just
and,
a fucking
and that beefing shit that keeps away the intellectuals.
That's what we're supposed to do.
The beefing shit keeps away the intellectuals, the people who really want to teach and learn. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm like,
yeah. Even BGS had to separate the beefing channel, separate a beefing channel just to
You get the rants in one place and the intellectual stuff in another. Yeah.
Not like people are gonna do shit. It's not like people are gonna do shit to me. I care less about them. Unless you put me in imminent threat, I don't give a fuck about you.
Not to mention you forget who you're dealing with.
See, the problem is people forget who they're dealing with.
Oh yes.
No. That's what I mean. I was referring to them regarding you. They don't know who they're dealing with.
You'll find out a lot.
You don't know who this nigga. You don't know who this motherfucker know, folks. Y'all don't want to play that game with him.
I'm the type of person I like to settle things my damn self.
But whenever you need that call and that backup, And you know he
That's
probably
why.
got some buddy.
That's why I like to be peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
I remember a story. No, go ahead, sorry, Charles.
Why go to war unless you have to? A lot of
Yeah.
stupid shit. And think about this shit, right?
Hmm.
People want to make all these beefs, all this shit. It might give you a boost in your fucking your watch hours. Whoop the fucking do. After it gets old, what else do you have to talk about? Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all those shock jocks on the radio. They got to keep digging deeper and deeper in that hole
Yeah.
until they
Once you and
because
if
the
you
shit gets
notice,
stale.
look at my viewer count. It went down once I stopped and once I let y'all in and talk about other shit. Because how many of those people came over there just to see drama?
Mm-hmm.
You want to see drama? Go watch reality TV.
Go watch the soaps. Go watch pro wrestling.
Oh
No,
yes,
pro wrestling's cool. Pro wrestling's cool.
Go watch that.
I tell the truth about pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is a real man soap opera.
Oh, it's
I said
always
what
been.
I said.
It's always been. Proud of
Mhm.
it. Proud of it.
Hey,
Shit.
comic books are a soap opera, but we're talking about some serious shit in action.
Fair enough.
I mean, comic books. I mean, shit. You're looking at Invincible and some other shows. You're like, that bitch.
Yep.
Like how some people feel about Star Wars or Star Trek, or
Which reminds me,
I feel the same way about. Go ahead.
I can't wait to the next episode. I want to see. I want to see how badly he beats up Mark, if he beats him up at all.
Oh yeah.
I never got a chance to read the comic,
What's that?
Invincible.
Oh, that's great. You can find it in your shops.
Okay.
They have it in a novel form, so you don't have to get every issue. So which is even better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a great. It's probably it came out in the early aughts, I believe.
All right.
Man,
Let me look that up on Amazon. I just might just get the digital edition and call it a
I
day.
actually have autographed copies of the hardback.
Okay.
So it's and go to and if you get a chance, go to some of the Comic Cons in your area or close to your area.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never know when you see some of the artists. They appreciate it. They'll autograph it for you.
A lot of it
Oh,
don't
yeah,
get no appreciation.
By the way, if you're in lines, get one of them folding chairs or one of them lawn chairs. You'll thank me later.
Mm.
That should be like, my knees, my back. Oh my God, we've been here for an hour. God damn, 30 minutes.
I needed this. Ooh.
Oh my leg, oh my leg, oh my leg.
Oh, my back. Oh man, don't get me started
My
about that.
back,
I've been
oh
dealing
my
with.
leg, my back, my neck, and my back. Goddamn.
Yeah.
And by the
No,
way,
seriously. Yeah.
if
No.
I'm
Seriously.
playing old school music, and you're saying
Mhm.
I'm playing old school music, drinking liquor, and playing love songs for men, no, there's a lot of ladies who like it too. And by the
You
way,
understand love songs?
everybody loves Frankie and a lot of the songs, and
Mm-hmm.
Strawberries, 23. So we love that music. So that was
Strawberries. I remember
poetic
Strawberry
leading
Letter
into the
23.
show. So yeah, that's what they're doing. So no, and it's funny because I'll say this part.
Right.
You get mad because I made a retort about you making a homosexual reference. What did you expect? Guess what? If you sneak diss me, the gloves are off. Don't if you don't want it done to you, keep everybody's name out of your mouth.
Yeah, I had a cut a dude off for trying to do that. Try to call me gay and stuff, and I clapped back to him. I was like, okay, you have a picture of yourself in a dress. Who the fuck are you calling gay?
Exactly. If you don't like certain behavior, don't do it.
He's like, you big yeah. I was like, okay,
And
bro,
that's
I'm
the
out.
simple part about it.
After that, I blocked him on Facebook, man. I was like, nah, you ain't gonna be talking to me like that.
Yeah. It's like, dude, are you here just for the drama? Are you here for the drama? Come on now. Stop. Stop.
And I didn't even want to call him out like that, man. But he took it there.
And this is the reason why I've always said, look, the black community is a shell of itself, man. It really is. It really is.
Yeah. You see BGS's rant?
How about what?
Oh, you didn't see it?
Attacking SYSBM.
No.
He went
off on pro black women.
Yeah, pro black women talking about.
Put it in the bring it up so I can bring it up so we can watch it.
Okay.
Because I didn't see this one. Shit, I'm out the loop with that shit. Oh shit, who pissed off the old man?
In fact, he apologized. He's like, I haven't ranted in a while. I was like, damn.
Yeah, Father, forgive me because I have not ranted.
Let's see. It's in my
I would have given him a hug for what it's worth.
Man, I had to listen to that twice today because it was off the chain. Where is it?
And see, here's the fucked up part about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody talks about none of the egregious shit that goes on in the community. Everybody's okay with it.
Nobody calls it out.
Mm-hmm.
When you call it out,
under the rug, like, shh, keep it swept under the rug. Keep it swept under the rug.
When you call it out, you're a son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. By the way, do you remember Zaza Ali?
Never heard of her.
There it is in the back chat.
Okay. Yeah.
You know about that whole thing about a bitch and everything? I once said this to some female cousins of mine. I told them, let me tell you, I told them this. Young lady, there are going to be times in life somebody's going to call you a female dog to your face or behind your back. The only thing you need to make sure is when they call you that, it's not for the right reasons.
Is it up?
It's up.
Yeah, okay.
Set up, play, baby.
It's going to be one of my first time in a while actually critiquing BGS's rants.
Yeah. What? No explicit sticker?
Rant, Johnny, rant.
Yo, Charles. Charles, where's the explicit sticker?
What do you what?
You know that usually, like on your streams, you always have like that explicit sticker notification on one corner of the screen.
I'll put it back up.
All right.
Yeah,
just all right, just making sure.
I've been cussing like for the last 30 minutes straight. So at this point, if they don't like what I'm saying, it is what it is. So it is what it is, boys and girls. Yeah. If people don't like it, they just don't like it. Now, my critique of BGS Itmore's rant.
Forgive me, brothers, for it has been many months since I have ranted. I was just saying to myself today that I should stop picking up the mic or picking up the phone when I feel the urge coming on while it's still fresh. And I think this is one of those times. So I think that we should go to an old school rant. So without further ado, drop that beat. Now, somebody emailed me a video of Zaza Ali, a 4-hour video. Now, I didn't watch all of it. He told me to go to the 3-hour mark about the passport bros. And the gist of it is they say all the right things. We don't go and add anything to the culture where we're going to, which is bunk. the black women, especially her, don't care what we do or why we travel all over the world, which is bunk. Just don't talk about them. And she gives all the same old patent excuses that most black women give about passport bros. Okay? I'm unbothered. I just don't like how you guys represent us. I don't like how you talk about us and black women and that kind of stuff. So I left a message, a comment on her comment section and said, maybe you should try to talk to them instead of about them. And she claims in her video that she did talk to them, to passport bros. And I told her, if you had talked to any one of the popular passport bros that are in this sector, my email would have lit up like a Christmas tree. And it would have. I'd had so many messages on my comment section. I'd had it in my emails. I'd had it in my Telegram. It'd have been all over the place because her name does ring out in this sector. It'd have lit up like 4th of July fireworks. That's what it would have done. So no, right then and there, what she was saying was bunk. In fact, she didn't even argue. She said, I understand. And she said, peace. Because she knows exactly what I'm saying, because she knows who I am. And she knows that I'm connected to the manosphere, and I'm connected to the passport bros. I'm connected to all these movements. And what she's saying was a load of hogwash. Now, normally I give pro-black or even pro-black leaning people like her a pass. And had she just said, I will try to reach out to them and understand your guys' point of view, I'd have let it go. I wouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't be recording this right now. But I just want to say, really, after this, I'm pretty much done. Pretty much done with black women. I'm getting tired of people caping for them, excusing their behaviors, excusing what we go through, why they abuse us. Y'all been telling us for 60 years that you don't like us, and you don't want us, and we abuse you, we beat you up, we do all kind of heinous stuff to you, and we don't support you or protect you. We're not adequate.
Now, I have to say this. When it comes to the protection of black women, or anybody, period, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fellas, what's the first rule of protection?
Obedience.
Obedience.
Do we have the most obedient women or the least obedient women?
The least.
So if you're the least obedient, that means by proxy, you are the most what? The least what?
Protected.
So protection and obedience go hand in hand, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you have a child. If that child is disobedient to you saying, look both ways across before crossing the street, and that child does not, what does that child fail to do? Adhere to
Obey
the
and
protection.
listen.
Mm-hmm.
Adhere to protection.
Obey and adhere to the protection.
At this point, we should tell them it's not our fault you're hard-headed.
Exactly. And this is the point about it. If you're so great of a woman, why would your men be willing to go into lands unknown and places unseen to find better women? And you got to forget, and for a man to have the passport and to be able to travel to certain areas, they have to have what first? Money and resources. So the best of us and black men are not staying, and little by little, until it becomes a monopoly, are leaving the community. The guys you need to lead the community. But because of your bravado, because of your arrogance, you're causing those men that you need to make the society float go away. And that's your fault, not anybody else's. That's you.
When have women ever taken accountability?
Never. Especially in the black
Exactly.
community.
And they refuse to.
And it's eating them up each day.
I say leave them
Believe it
to
or
their
not,
emotions and let it turn on themselves.
believe it or not, we're protecting them by telling them this.
In the
People
long
think
term, yeah.
people
Mhm.
think that people think that, oh, you're just trying to tell us what to do. No, we're trying to give you forewarning that no man loves a disobedient, brazen woman. That's not going to be in your benefit.
That's Tia Mallory. Oops.
And guess what? She thought that she thought Mr. Hardrick would come back begging and screaming. He's like, oh no, I'm like this other Disney show called The Sweet Life.
Mm-hmm.
You got to realize, and I'm gonna say this, and somebody need to put this in the chat. When a man comes back to a woman, it's because he missed the loving and sweet thing he had.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman comes back to a man, it's because she couldn't replace what that man brought.
She couldn't find
She has
anything
nowhere else to
better.
go.
She had nowhere else to go. If she can't replace you, she'll always hit you up. I had to tell one of my
Hey,
exes,
big head.
the hate big heads. I had to tell
Mhm.
my exes, look, I tried to go on this date with this guy and he was boring and da 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 da. I said, you know why? Because I'm rare. I'm
Mhm.
rare. My God. You want to really think about a dude who can actually not only entertain but educate you? A guy who looks like something that you're attracted to? I'm rare. You're not going to get all this in the same package all the time.
Mhm.
I'm smart enough to know that Baskin Robbins got 31 flavors. Guess what? Pick one, motherfucker. But here's the craziness about it all. A lot of women, and this is what differentiates men from women. Men know when they have a good hand. Women will be like Peter Griffin playing blackjack. Hit me, 18. Hit me, 19. Hit me, 20. Hit me, 21. I think you got to stop. Hit me.
Mhm.
You never know when you have a good thing going. And that's a black woman's greatest flaw. And I want y'all to think about this, right? If you let the bummiest nigga skeet all up in your guts and you give him babies, what do you think that makes that man look at you?
What's the term that George Carlin had for them? Catchers.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was the code name we used to give them, Mike Piazzas, because they always back catching.
Wait, where's
Like,
Snowman when we need him?
like here's the craziness about it. You say we don't protect you. You don't. What? Just let them leave. Oh, you just want us to leave. We wouldn't leave unless you treated us well. Oh, ain't shit.
Mhm.
You want to go? Get going. I ain't gonna stop you.
I don't love us anymore. It's not that. It's just that I love myself first. And I'm going to say this to everybody who's listening. That's the ultimate problem. When you love yourself first, that's when shit rolls downhill.
You always gotta put yourself first because it depends on everything depends on you.
It's like
Mhm.
the Army used to say. If number one ain't right, you can't help 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Hell no. Hell, even Patrice O'Neill once said this. He explained, like, he said to his girl, like, you are like the fourth most important thing in my life. It's me, my career, my mother, and then you. But if you keep acting up, I got that fish tank over there. The fishes will be before you. You're gonna be fifth on the list.
Yeah. You
Mhm.
got to think, do black men really want to alienate their women? No. But for their own
No.
sanity and mental health, you got to do what you got to do to survive, my brother. Continuing.
With husbands, I can tell you how many books talking about the inadequate supply of husbands in the black community. So black men are not stepping up to the plate. Black men don't take care of their kids. Black men get everybody pregnant. Black men do all kind of heinous stuff to black women, and how they need better men. And black men, for their sake, it said, if you can find a better man, by all means, please go get him. Getting tired of how they cheer each other on when they say they've moved on and got other men, whether it's Latino, whether it's white, whether it's Asian, whatever it is. They cheer each other on. And then what do? If a black man decides he's going to exercise his options, they get upset. That's what Alvin Poussin said. I don't know if black women care more about racism or to control the black men. We already know the answer after 60 years. It has nothing to do with hating that white boy. It's about controlling that man, because they have way more hatred and vitriol for their own men than they do their white boy. I've seen more vitriol spewed at the brothers inside the community than I saw any spewed at any white man or any white woman. They have way more to say about us and way more negative things to say about us than any other group. And we're in used to be one of the most racist countries on the planet. And they've been saying this crap about us since the 1850s. And anytime they can get a chance to get next to that white man or shack up with that white man, and the white woman will treat them halfway decently, they take it and they bounce. They take it and they bounce to the point where white men think that they own black women's bodies. That's how bad it is. And then they come on this side of the town, cross the road, and they tell us that how faithful they are. And when the numbers come out, all of a sudden the numbers start showing a different story. That's one thing I love about the internet and dating apps and stuff like that. They tell the real story. They tell you where the desires really are. And they tell black men how they've been gaslit for the past 100 years. But I listen to parts of it. The first thing she says that they all say, right, is that they hate how black men especially compare women of other cultures to them, and how we have this negative attitude towards them, like it just came out of nowhere. And I hear a lot of guys say the exact same thing. There's no difference between women. Bunk. That's bunk.
Now, what do y'all think about what he just said about the vitriol spewed about black women spewing black men?
It happens all the time. Ever since the late 80s to early 90s.
I want you to think about it.
Okra, anybody?
Yeah. Remember,
Hell, go further back.
when black men wasn't shit, black men still called them queens.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
Mm-hmm.
People forget that. Y'all left the black man to go join the white woman.
And look where it went, where it got them. Left holding the bag.
I'm really. This is the disagreement I might have with BGS. Oh well, oh my God, you know me disagreeing with BGS.
What else is new?
Oh Lord, Lord, Lord. Our Lord and Savior BGS gonna be back with that. And it's a friendly disagreement. He says they're failed white women. I said they're failed white men. Because they sound like some old racist crotchety white men than white women.
Oh well, you're not wrong, Charles. He does sound like that failed white supremacist we were talking to the other day.
Yeah, they sound just like that failed loser Thor from Temu, or we got Jason Momoa at home, broke ass dude. And it's funny, that same white boy that came up there,
you've only been white for what, 50, 60 years?
Mm-hmm.
What was his background?
Italian.
Oh, I would have had fun with him. I would have had a day with him.
And he's an outcast from his family because he's such a failure. This is the reason why I have a disagreement with the failed white women. The reason why is because even if they were failed white women, they will be nice about it. They sound like some old crotchety, old cracker Jim, like just up there with a shotgun, get the fuck off my property, Denver. That's how they sound when they get mad with you. There's a joke on Facebook that black women speak about black men, especially their baby daddies, the same way Jim Ross speak about Triple H. You son of a bitch!
Damn you!
Triple H!
Damn you all the way to hell!
You no good son of a bitch!
Damn you to hell! Triple.
Man of God,
That's
they
bad.
sound like
What was
Jim
it? That
Ross.
one time, I remember the one time he went off on Triple H. It was like when it was January 8th, 2001, Raw edition. The main event was Stone Cold against Kurt Angle for the title, and Triple H came in and screwed Stone Cold.
Oh yeah, why Triple H?
the
Why?
Well,
Damn you all the way to hell! And he busted him 3 times with a metal pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And he stood over him when he was like limped off, with a broken, bloody out, laid out on the announce table, and you got and just like he was like saying, damn you all the way to hell," and the King was just silent throughout the whole thing. But,
damn you, straight to hell, you
Triple H. That's classic JR.
Stone Cold got his in the end, though. Stone Cold got his in the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, All Star G said you and BGS are right. I take that. I've never said he was wrong.
You guys,
I never said
you guys see
I
it from
never
different
said he was
perspectives.
wrong. I just have a little difference of seeing it because if they were white women or failed white women, at least they'd be nicer about it.
But in fairness to BGS, that's the point. That's because they're failed because they're not nicer about it.
Exactly, and I give them credit for that part. That's why, in my perspective, I tweak it a little bit. They're failed white men because they're real shit show. Hell, you don't even have to get black women drunk.
Nope. You just set the mood right for them, and they're just gonna spill out their guts.
If you let them talk long enough.
Yeah, give them all the rope they need to hang themselves with.
It's funny because when you look at it in perspective, you're like, wow, I can't fucking believe that this chick literally had this much vitriol against me.
For what? Who the hell are you to have all this vitriol for other people when we know, first and foremost, you're not worth a damn, and you're just going off and saying these things and just being passive aggressive of it?
Oh,
and
yeah.
when you get called out, then you get. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I mean, and when you do get called out, you're gonna start acting all passive aggressive, like I'll quit victimizing me. Oh, shut up!
And
Don't start none if you can't handle it.
And that's the worst.
Oh, excuse me.
That's the worst part about it, man. The worst part about it is that they're gonna come and they're gonna gaslight you into thinking we were always for you.
Mm-hmm. We're the backbone.
We're the backbone. And people forget
the black community
the
black is broken.
The backbone got scoliosis. Now, I'm always laughing at this shit on so many levels. I'm laughing at this shit on so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, continue.
They know exactly that different cultures raise different women. Even here in the United States, that's how come they can't stand you dating an Asian or a white woman or anybody else, is because first thing they say is that woman will do exactly what you want. Yes, they will. Yes, they treat us better. Yes, they're more kind. Yes. I just played a video about black women believing that they had to be mean toward their men, but soft toward white men. Why do they say? They said they need to be mean and dominant over their men to control them. And you can hear it in their voice. You can hear it. I grew up hearing that voice. I grew up hearing that tone. I recognize that tone as soon as I hear it. As soon as I hear it, that mommying tone. And that's what pisses me off. They know exactly why we left. They know exactly what we're talking about. They know exactly what we will find when we date out, especially out of the side of the country. That's what they're pissed off about. They know exactly what they do. They know exactly how many times a day they tell us to go kiss their behinds, and they give us the middle finger. Exactly. Even the so-called pro-blacks. Exactly. Can't tell you how many sessions that we have to sit through talking about relationships in the pro-black community, and all of a sudden a group of black women get together and start weeping about how badly we treat them, or how bad our relationships are, or how much the black man needs to freaking improve. I get tired of hearing that. We got to change ourselves so we can make them feel better. Get the entire hell out of here. Like they don't have to change. They know exactly what they do and what's been passed down. After 100 years, you guys cannot be this freaking clueless. You are not clueless. Because if you were clueless, you would say it to our face in a relationship instead of behind our backs. You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you try to do to us. You know exactly the kind of games you try to run on us. You know exactly the tone that your mama told you to use against us. That I've seen it too many times. You bring in another woman from another culture, all of a sudden that black woman come together and try to change her so she can act exactly like them. Why? Because they don't want you to spoil him. They don't want him to get used to good treatment. They want her to beat us like the dog that we are. Keep that dog on a leash and keep that dog beat so that dog will not raise his head. Because if they think that if the dog raises his head one day, he's going to bite you. That's what they think. They go through the whole world telling how afraid they are to walk the streets and be around us, and then at the same breath, they want us to protect them. In the same breath, they want us to provide for them. The same breath, they want us to be with them as a backup plan. Same breath. And then talk crap about us. Thing is, we hear you for 70 years, especially since there's been social media. We hear you. We hear you on all those talk shows since the 1970s. We hear you. We see all the books that are written negatively about black men. We hear you. What it says to us that you don't want us. That's what it says. You don't want us. And until recently, we had very little choice and very little options to go anyplace else. We had to put up with you. What happens when we don't have to put up with you anymore? When you tell us you don't want us, we can take a hike. We can walk. When you say that we beat on you and we abandon you and we emotionally abuse you, we say, you know what, guess what? Maybe we're not compatible. We can take a hike. And then when we do, guess what? You get mad. You get mad. You've been giving us your behind to kiss for the past 80 years. The past freaking 80 years you've been giving black men your behind to kiss. And now you act like you don't know exactly what you're doing. You don't know exactly what the black man wants, even though he's been saying it. He's been saying what he wants. He's been saying the kind of woman he wants. He's been saying what he wanted out of his woman. And guess what? Most coaches said that's not a lot. That's not a lot. Black men are tired. Tell black men, you have to take us like we are. If we're 80 pounds over the weight, you just have to deal with it. If we want 4-inch eyelashes, you got to take that. If we want fake weave down our butt, you got to take that. If we want bad attitudes, you got to take that. If we got demanding attitudes, like I'm going to bring 4 kids, about 4 guys to your door, and you got to accept us and marry us and take care of me and my kids, y'all have to take that. How dare you have standards? How dare you get what you want? And recently, they have been just straight up telling you, you can't get what you want. You got to settle for us. And when black men say, you know what, just like during the election, I don't vote for the Republicans, I'm going to vote for the couch. A lot of men voted for the couch. Either I'm out or I'm going in another direction. Passport bros go in another direction. And passport bros is only a small percentage of black men. And it's really not what they say. It's really not what they do. It's really what they show. It's really, they go over there and they tell you these women are different. These women treat us better. These women are more like the women that we would want to have, and sometimes even more of what we really want. And that's what you don't like.
And I'm going to stop it right there for a second. Have you ever been around women who think you're crazy because you want good treatment? Have you ever been around women who think you're crazy because you want respect?
Mm-hmm.
It's so normalized not to be respected in our community that we don't even value it. We don't even understand it. And Mr. Allah Alternative Channel, Salam. Assalamu alaikum, brother. BB King. You're evil when we're together, jealous when we're apart. Remember that song? Oh, yeah. Assalamu alaikum to all my Muslim folks. And shalom to all my Jews, Jewish people, and greetings to all the Christians and anybody in between and atheists. How you doing? It's funny how respect is not valued within our community. It's funny how decency is looked upon as weird. And all you just want is just some respect. You're not even some decency, like being treated like a goddamn good man. It's not that hard to do. I've seen women who claim they were abused treat horrible men with better respect, but walk over to men who they know will treat them right. But what's the saying? You're only the prize to the men you don't want. You're only the prize to the men you don't want. That's all it is. You're only the prize to the men you don't want. The men you truly want, what happened? You disrespect them. You treat them poorly. There's nothing he can do for you. He ain't worth your respect. What's the old saying? Well, I respect him. He ain't worth shit. How many times can a man take that? But continuing.
That's what you don't like. You know exactly how you treat us. You know exactly what you demand out of us. You know exactly what you say to us. You know exactly how you speak to us. Exactly. But you don't want to change, which is fine. I always tell guys, don't try to make them change. This is who they are. Make a different decision. I can't tell you how much pushback, especially from the pro-black community, I get from that. Got to make a decision. You have to go back into that minefield with that woman that just gave you her behind the kiss and the middle finger, and you gotta somehow convince her to make it right. And you know that you're not. What it really means that you got to go and comply. You got to go on bended knee and kiss her behind, and bring bring the black community back into some kind of harmony. Bring peace back to this dysfunctional community. That's really what they want. And we don't care that it's dysfunctional. We don't care that you don't get nothing out of it. We don't care that it doesn't serve you. What we do know is it's going to fall apart if you leave. That's what they do know. If black men start wholesale leaving, it's going to fall apart. So just like in the Ukraine, they want you to go to the front line, and they want you to throw your body in front of those bullets. They want you to be cannon fodder for the black community. That's what they want you to be. It's like in politics, right? This is the last election. They wanted you to be the cannon fodder for the Democrats. They want you to be cannon fodder. They ain't say the women had to change anything. They said that you, no matter what you felt or what you thought or what your independent thought was or how these Democrats served or didn't serve you, that didn't matter. You had to get in line behind your women because it was working for them. So it's working for them. That means you have to fall in line and get behind them, get under them. That's how come they were so pissed about the Ice Cube effect. Is that black men broke ranks. If we don't get anything, you don't get our vote. If you don't start changing laws, then guess what? We're not going to cooperate. If you don't start changing things to where it's more equitable for us, guess what? We out. And that's what's been going on. They always say there's not enough black men. There's too few number. Half of the black men are never going to marry. What are you talking about? 40% of black men will never marry. Will never marry. That's way more than enough. 68% of black men are not married now. There's more than enough. There's 68% of black men that are unmarried. If you really wanted to have a husband and you really wanted to act right, then you could get married to him. You could, because they don't have no problem going across the fence and getting married. They don't have no problem going overseas and getting married. They don't have no problem going overseas and finding women, cooperative women, women that like them, women that are actually asking for them. That's what you don't like about passport bros. The women are asking for them now, saying that we're over there exploiting the culture. No, we're not. No, we are not. The black women that find passport bros and actually like them. Talk to any one of the girls that dated passport bros. They said they would date another. And in fact, they're calling for more women, more of us to come over there. Ask Korea, ask China, ask the Philippines, ask Japan, ask Latin America. They're actually booking more flights to fly more of us down there. There's a reason for that. You always say that we're the problem, but guess what passport bros did? They actually exposed you and your BS. That's what it did. It exposed you. Exposed you like a mug. Because guess who can't go overseas and date like that? Guess who can't go overseas and grab a man? Guess who can't go overseas and run their game? Y'all, black women can't. Can't tell you how many videos of Japan, Philippines, Korea, Europe, Africa, that black women have problems with the men. They can't date the local men. In fact, one of the brothers, O'Shea Duke Jackson, said, you know what? The way black women in America are, if you want to come over here and date, I advise you to bring your man with you. And most of the women that are married to African men today met them here in the United States because they were Americanized. They were trained to tolerate the BS that black women spit out. That's how come they're upset that we're leaving. Because black women, for the most part, have no place else to go. A white man will date them. White men will get them pregnant, but white men are not bringing them home. Not enough numbers to make a difference. That's how come black men have, 700,000 more marriages than black women, and we have almost 3 million less people? How's that working out? How does that happen? How come black men's divorce rate is lower than black women's? How come our marriage rate is higher? How come our marriage rate is higher? The only people a black woman can get along with for a long period of time is a white man if he accepts it. Because he is such a prize to her and such a catch to her that she will bend over backwards to keep it. It's like the brother at the restaurant in New York says, when a black woman comes into his restaurant with a black man, she gives him all kind of help. He has to pay up through the yang to keep her and make her happy. But when a black woman comes in with a white man, she's footing the bill. She's the one kissing up. She's the one trying to make good and entertain him. And the white boys are over there clapping it up and laughing that he gets anything he wants from her. But he won't marry her. Why? You know why? Now, I had respect for Zaza Ali. I know she done some shady stuff, but I had some respect for her. But the thing is, you sound just like all the rest of them. The pro-black women sound just like all the rest of them, the same stuff. The gynocracy extends to the pro-black community. It does. Because what the passport bros do is basically undermine your story, undermine your propaganda. That the only people that's going to love you, and that's what they always say, the only woman that's going to love you is a black woman. Bunk. It's not true. Bunk. It's not true. And say if it was true, that you really loved us through all that negativity, that you really did. You know what? I'd rather get blessed love and treated well instead of getting what you call love and getting abused. I'm not here for that. I don't care what kind of story that you're trying to spin. And that story is weak. So I'm gonna hate the manosphere because we play this stuff constantly. Manosphere don't make stuff up. The manosphere, what it does, it goes out and gets your own words and put it on the screen. And say, look, and comment on it. We ain't gotta say it. And that's one thing about the manosphere that I love, the black manosphere I love. We will take what your words, put it on that video and show them. It's not what we're saying, it's what she's saying. Listen to her. We always used to say that, right? One thing we said, that's one thing I used to say when I was running my women's channel. If you let her talk long enough, she'll tell you the truth. Mm-hmm. If you let her talk long enough, she'll tell you the truth. And trust and believe, I don't do half the stuff that I could on my channel to go in on black women. Because my mission is not to go in on black women to save black men. To give them enough information and to get the truth out of black women so they can make a different choice. And I always say this, if you want a black woman, stop trying to change her. If you want a black woman, stop trying to change it because we have tried that for the past 80 years and it doesn't work. The women of the day, the young women of the day, my grandkids and the young women of the day are still the same woman that my grandmother was back in 1910. It ain't changed.
I want to stop right there. Right? When he said they're the same women from 1910, and God knows we've all seen it, it makes you think, why are so many of these channels popping up trying to make them seem like, oh, it's not all of us?
Mm-hmm.
But y'all carry this fucking shit. This is the worst part about it. That's just as bad as if I'm okay dating drug dealers. Well, you know, all drug dealers aren't bad. If it was a group of lions, 10 lions inside of a pit, 5 are man eaters, and 5 will protect you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you bet that which ones would you pick? Would you know the difference?
Highly unlikely you would know the difference. In fact, why would you even go into that pit? You stay clear of that pit.
Say that shit again for the Negroes in the back.
I said highly unlikely you would know the difference. In fact, you'd be smart enough to know not to venture into that pit.
And this is the guy who dates
Muhammad Ali once said it best. He said, look, I know all white people aren't racist. But let's say there were 100 snakes in there and 10 of them were venomous. Should I just open the door and let them all in? No, I'm not going to take that chance. I can't take that risk.
And that's basically what black women are telling black men to do.
What was it Obsidian used to say about about exceptions? Exceptions don't debunk the rule; they prove they prove they prove it.
And this is the shamefulness of it. When you have a bunch of detractors who talk about this mess
Mm-hmm.
and say y'all just being jealous, y'all being bitter. I said, okay, sure. But does he have a point?
What are we bitter of?
I'm not bitter.
Yeah, what are we bitter about?
What is it that? Yeah, exactly. What are we? What are you supposed? What do you claim we're supposedly bitter about?
Fair share pick of beautiful black women. But if you ask me, do black women act the same way no matter what education? Yeah, I've dated 80% of the women I've dated are college educated. They act the same way and have the same attitude as the hood bitches, even the nice ones. Especially when you do something that's contrary to what they want you to do. Not because, oh, you know a better way. No. It's because they want to be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Sign language.
Guilt, shame, need to be right.
Why are you going to guilt me into this? You can't guilt me into this. And that's what it all boils down to. Can you guilt me? Can you make me be a sucker?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be. I don't want to play that game with you. Go away. Either like what was it you should say, Charles? You said that either I lead or I leave.
Either I lead or I leave. I'm not going to fight you for control. You could be the queen of loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
A lion doesn't have to roar to know he's king. I don't have to force you to do shit because you're supposed to come willingly. If you can't do that, then we can't make it work. I'm sorry. There's a lot of females who are failures in that shit, and they know they are.
Too many lionesses trying to think they're hyenas.
And then guess what? You wonder why you claim you're not protected. You wonder why men aren't taking you seriously.
What's there to take serious? What's there to be taken seriously about you?
You wonder why. It's not cute. It just isn't. You're telling me that I'm getting a great deal by somebody who just wants my resources and turn around, disrespect me, and say fuck me?
You expect us to buy a Volkswagen Beetle, a used Volkswagen Beetle, very used, beat up, practically total Volkswagen Beetle at the price of a Lamborghini fresh off the lot. Are you kidding me?
Pretty much.
A used Beetle, fresh out of the just out of the that's left in the in the junkyard, about to get crushed.
It still has value.
If you can restore it, I mean, you can restore a car, but you can't restore a woman's uterus. Not even the most gynecologists will tell you, that comes with the risks. Just like I've made this statement clear about hymenoplasty, virginity fraud, as it should be called.
Yeah. You're getting some.
Now, there are exceptions. I will make exceptions. I have to make a few exceptions, but for the most part, like some chicks talk about they born again virgins and that hymenoplasty crap. Get the F out of here with that. Just like, Some women get surgeries to tighten the shit up.
Raven Knight said B-Dubs have denial issues, Charles. She's gonna
denial issue.
That what she's going to think no one can change it, and she's the rebellious adolescent juvenile. Well, goddamn, that's true.
Rebellious juvenile indeed. Juvenile delinquents.
But yet, here's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get a good product off of trash. You just can't.
That's one of the first things to do graphic design. Trash in, trash out.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Can't. And that's one of the biggest flaws we know in the black community today.
Mm-hmm.
We know this. Why? Because this is what they want to give you. They want to give you the trashy shit. They don't want to give you somebody of class, of somebody of culture, of somebody of stature. They want to give you all the bullshit they wouldn't take from you.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Snowman when we need that trash song?
Trash, 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 trash.
And that was based off that old an old guitar strum from Deep Purple.
I want you to realize that they want to give you shit and attitude they wouldn't take.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wrong.
That just shows how. No, go ahead, sorry.
I'm wrong for pointing this shit out.
No. They treat you the way they treat you because they feel that you are beneath them.
Oh, yeah.
And they just want to express how much contempt and resentment they have that they're with you.
It's not my fault.
It's like that.
Nigga.
I mean, so what was that clip Mr. Z puts out from time to time? That one chick saying, if you make less than me, I'm gonna belittle you. I'm gonna berate you and some shit. I'm like, no wonder.
Thanks for telling me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Thanks for telling me. Next.
Yeah.
Why do you think I tell you? Don't even bother with them. They're done. They're obsolete. They wallow in obsolescence. If you want a black woman, go overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a video I saw about Sergeant Willie P that came out recently, and I understand where he was going with it, but on the real end about that, as well as because he was like talking about like brothers going overseas and whatnot, trying to get a chick from Africa, not bringing up, and yeah, I understand what he was trying to say, but he kind of half-assed it, and as somebody who can tell you, like, the way you what you said was right. I don't agree how you went about it, and seems like you didn't have all the facts on the table, have all the facts with you. But hey, I wouldn't want to have the conversation about that. But why bother sometimes?
Now I'm going to ask everybody in the chat. There was a wise prophet who once said this in a song. Taking the bumps and the bruises of a two-time loser. I think I better let it go. It looks like what?
I love TKO.
Continuing.
Thank you, Teddy P, for that one. Oh, wait a minute.
Same stuff, same attitude, same everything. It has not changed. My mother, who's in her 80s, can talk to some little girl that's in her teens, and they have the same conversation. It ain't changed. You're not changing them. I know we used to get all this stuff about masculinity, and if you were better, they would change. And if you they would change. Bunk. Don't fall for that banana in the tailpipe. Don't fall for that Blue Seas football. They pull it every time. They're even doing it with this DEI garbage. Doggone well, the DEI does not do anything for black people. But yet you have black women shouting to the rooftops, carrying Becky's water like she's been doing for the past 150 years. It ain't changed. It has not changed. I'm telling brothers, get yourself and go free. Okay? Get yourself and go free. And the last little thing that I want to say before I jump off here, because I'm getting ready to go in on the black women. I cannot believe that you guys are this stupid. I cannot believe that you guys are this unaware. I cannot believe that you are really eating your own garbage like that. You know exactly what you guys say about us to each other. You know exactly how you act. You know exactly how your mama taught you to act to us. But the thing is, you think you're justified in it. You think that this is the peak way to treat a black man and treat a black boy. You think that black boys are inherently damaged and worthless the way you have to treat them a certain way. And you have to elevate yourself because it's on you to protect the black community and protect the black kids, yada, 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 yada. So that means you have to get everything first. You have to have the house because more black women own houses. Black women have more jobs, believe it or not, even though black men earn more, because we always go back to the earning. But black women have more jobs. Black women have more resources. Black women have always had more education. They've always owned more property. Black women would get together in a group, in a family, and they will actually help one of the daughters buy cars, get apartments, and buy houses. So they will not have to be under a black man. That's their number one thing. They don't want to be under a black man, which is why the marriage rate is so low. And that's how come as soon as black women could find their independence and not be married to a black man, the marriage rates crashed and never recovered. The marriage rates in the black community crashed in the 60s, and they've never recovered since. As soon as Uncle Sam became her baby daddy, black women left and never came back. When your marriage rates crashed, when the old folks in the World War II and silent generation started dying off, the marriage rates crashed. They were done. And I used to hear my mother, silent generation, tell my daughters that you need to go get your education and go find your own way so that you don't have to put up with no man. That you don't have to have a husband. That you don't have to be under a man. That you don't have to depend on a man. And guess what? Black men have heard you. You know what I'm saying is true. But the thing is, now you're trying to lie to us. Like we weren't raised in the same household. We didn't hear your mama say that stuff to you. We heard it. We heard her say it. We heard our aunts say it. We heard the teachers say it. The exact same thing. We hear you, but you act like we're supposed to be deaf, dumb, and blind. Oh, well, you know, that don't count. Bunk. You could really change this if you really wanted to, if you would be better. Bunk, because that white boy ain't got to try. That Latino boy ain't got to try. He ain't got to do a tenth of what we do to get the same results. That's why I played that white chick that black men begin in a hole. And that white man is on a pedestal. And the thing is, if you gave us a ladder or a rope to get out of the hole, you know, we could rock. But guess what you do? You shovel dirt into the hole to make sure that we can't climb up. And if we do find our own rope, start climbing up out of the pit, you cut the rope because you don't want us up there. That's like black boys still only read the same grade level that they did 60 years ago. 60 years ago. All those programs for black boys, guess what? They got killed because same thing white women did. If black women can't have it, black women can't stay up over you, then guess what? They don't want it. They don't want it. So I think about defenses, right? With Rose and Troy. Now Rose can read, write, do numbers, take care of the business. Near the end of the movie, you find out that Troy can't read. Now you married to this man for 20 years and you never tried to teach him how to read. Ever. Why? Because you want him handicapped. Because if he learns how to read, learns how to write, he may leave you. You know that. You've seen that. You talk to each other about that. How to keep that man under wraps, how to keep that man under your thumb, how to keep that man under your apron skirts. To make sure that he's going to be there. Make sure that he don't think too highly of himself because he might leave you, or basically, or better yet, he thinks that he's going to do something to you. He's going to dog you. Or he's going to look at you and say that you're inadequate to what his needs are. Which is why you don't like passport bros. because passport go overseas, they encounter different women and a different culture and get treated differently, and they bring that stuff back. And you don't want to change. And you don't want to change. Instead of learning what that man needs, learning what he likes, and competing just like every other woman on the planet, you're comfy in your pride. And instead of what you do what you've always done. You try to get somebody to chase that black man back into your arms, back behind your skirts. If the white man won't do it, you go to the white woman. If the white woman won't do it, you go to somebody else. So you go to the man of the other women in other cultures to chase that black man back. I know I've had 4 guys tell me that their girlfriends were paid by black women to talk negatively about black men. 4 of them. I couldn't believe it. And my guy said his girl showed her the transfers, how much a month she was paid just to go on the internet and talk crap about black men. That's how deep this goes. So I am absolutely done with this. I'm done with it. Pro-blacks cannot come over here and try to shame us about this. No kind of way. I don't want to hear it. Until you address that black woman, you get her straight, you get her to stop talking greasy about us. Don't come over here telling us what we got to do with the black community or with these black women. If you're not over there talking to them and getting them straight, don't come over here. If you can't come over here, say what our return on investment is, don't come over here. I don't want to hear it. My first thing, when I hear that, or you have to go back to the black community and marry these women and take care of these kids, what is my ROI, my return on investment? And don't tell me it's supposed to be higher than that. Bunk. Black men have gotten stabbed in the back too many times with civil rights, when black women got together with white women and basically took the gains of civil rights for themselves and left the black men struggling. Go and look at it. Same thing with affirmative action, with feminism. When affirmative action, guess who suffered? It wasn't them, it wasn't black women. Keisha was fine. Jamal's the one that got axed. Jamal's the one that got pushed down. Jamal's the one that got all the smoke, right? Jamal got all that smoke. Jamal had to go to jail. Jamal had to go on the streets and live in his car. Keisha got Section 8. Keisha got food stamps. Keisha got all this stuff. Jamal got prison. Jamal got homelessness. Jamal got unemployment. That's what he got. Jamal, to save himself, had to get into the military. I don't want to hear it. Until you do what's right, don't come over here with that mess. I know, like Zaz Ali, I know you didn't talk to anybody. I know you didn't talk to anybody in merit because I would have heard it. Your name would have blown up throughout this whole transit. I'd have gotten more texts, more calls, more emails. If you were on anybody's show, got in contact with anybody, they'd have said something. You did not. Stop trying to play me. I am too embedded into this community to even believe it. Because the first time you popped up with a passport, bro, I got an email. I don't even follow you. I'm tired of these lies. I'm tired of this blackmail collective guilt that we got to save these women. Bunk. We ain't got to save them. I tell them, save yourself, black woman. SYSBW. Save yourself. Stop calling on us. Go to Becky, will help you out. She's been helping you out for the last 200 years. She'll help you out. All the help that you got from Becky and Karen, you didn't take advantage of it, that's your problem. Because you didn't pass none of those gains on to your black men or your black boys, did you? Like when that company, that bank was going to give you guys, what, $10 billion in aid? None of that was spent on black men.
Half that shit to go to black girls.
Stacey Abrams had $2 billion. She could have funded how many companies of black men doing jobs on the ground? We didn't hear about none of that. We didn't get nothing. Black men didn't get none of that money. None of that money. She didn't say I put black men to work putting up solar panels or changing fixtures. She didn't say none of that. I don't want to hear it. Black women get something, they leave black men completely out. How do I know? I talk to all the academics. They tell me the exact same thing. The nonprofits black women start, and if you ain't included, I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. The stuff that even the pro-black community, the stuff they do for black men is far and few in between. Twos and fews, as they used to say. Won't hear it. Get right or get left. That's what passport boards are telling you. Either you're going to get right or you're going to get left. And I guess left is starting to win. Anyhow, that's the end of my rant. I'm going to drop this piece and I'm out of here.
Well, what y'all think about that last part, fellas?
Yep. That's
Said the
where I'm at
truth.
right now. That's where I'm at right now, Charles. Get right or get a dog.
Either I lead or I leave. I'm sorry. I said that a couple of years ago, about 2 years ago. Either I lead or I leave. I'm not gonna argue over control and power. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who says, oh, you're crab boat. Guess what? I could get black women. Most of the chicks in these so-called sectors wished or flirted with me at one time that I would be around them. Go tell that.
Yeah. Actually, let me revise that just a little bit. Get right, get a dog, or get a sim. Either whichever one comes first. Or get a vibrator.
Oh, we had a discussion about that last one.
Oh, get a vibrator.
Yeah, the rose toy thing. We chopped it up about that.
Talking about on Z's.
Yeah, on Z's. Get right, get left, or get the fuck out.
Fuck them. That's how I feel. Fuck
We're
'em.
good.
Fuck them at this point. Fuck them.
Alexa, play The Rain by Orange Juice Jones.
I saw you and him.
And him.
Walking in the rain. You were holding hands and never been the same.
Speaking what BJ said about, like, all these nonprofits that black women, create everything. I remember that article that Dr. T wrote about BLM saying, and the title said, "Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids."
Yeah.
It's not about you, black man. You just the body bag. You just the face. You just the face of the martyrs. They think it's like, you all remember that scene, the slave ship scene from American Gods. They think they're Mr. Nancy, and they look at you saying, "You already did, asshole. At least die a sacrifice." For what?
I'm sorry. I'm not sacrificing anymore. I'm not getting shit out of it. I'm not getting any respect. I don't care. Well, make us respect you. Nope. You respect that drug dealer. I'm a war vet. I'm a former officer. I'm a business owner and a security firm owner. You should respect me because I'm a human being. But all the people who want to talk shit about yours truly won't say shit about that black woman, because you know that black woman, you scared of that black woman, number one, and you want that black woman to die.
I once said this, and I've said this many a times. Why should I care whether or not you recognize my masculinity or my manhood, when I know good well you are unwilling and incapable of acknowledging my humanity? Why should I care whether or not you think why you view me as a man, when I know good and well you're unable to see me as a human being?
So why would an intelligent creature keep going for the same pain? None of the detractors can answer that for me. If somebody kept punching you through the goddamn door 10 times, what should you expect on the 11th? Somebody to rock your ass or don't walk through it at all. But black men are always told, walk through that fucking hole. and get what in return? Your ass to kiss?
They want you to eat crap and be grateful. I'm like, nah.
Cut the hand off the sucker. That's all you got to do. Be the sucker who gets his hand cut off.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't playing that.
Be the sucker who gets his hand cut off and be grateful. Be goddamn grateful that that she gave you a bandage.
Be that sucker that gets your nuts cut off and be grateful that it's still in our purse.
Ugh. Oh, somebody got an email?
Be grateful. Be grateful. Bro, I was a kid when that music video was on the music channels back in the day. I never thought I would still be singing that song to this very day. Yeah, it's a classic, man. Here's the link for anybody who wants to know. Like General Zod, no back and forth. Back and forth. Oh, shit.
That was you, God, in the gravel pit video. The gravel pit song.
I'm going to tell you this one thing about it, right?
All right.
There's shit that black men need to stop doing. Stop looking for motherfuckers for your validation.
Mm-hmm.
If these motherfuckers gave a flying fuck about you, it would show.
They don't.
It would totally show.
Don't put an obligation to someone who views you as an option, as an option.
And that's the cruel part.
Mm-hmm.
So cruel, I know.
Thank you. He'll be here all week, folks.
Oh yeah. Yes, I listen to rock sometimes. I'm gonna tell you, it's cruelty in its worst sense. To always do all this shit for somebody's love, to vehemently try to challenge for someone's love, but yet he's still so far from getting it.
Mm-hmm.
That's abuse. That's abuse. And I've said this about black women before. Black women will say the same thing about us that they'll say about President Trump. Oh, well, y'all abuse us. Let's take a look at that, sweetie.
You're the ones usually calling your kinfolk saying we did some shit on you. We end up getting fucked up. Or you're the ones who call the cops on us. On some trivial shit. But we're the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
We're the bad guys, but guess what? Somebody always got to be the villain.
They always want you to be the villain in their story. I'm like, you are not directing this movie, bitch. You are not the star of this. You are definitely not the producer or the director.
Damn right.
Patrice O'Neal, Patrice and Dante talked about this on Black Phil about women always have this little movie in their heads. That internal script, like, what the hell are you talking about? Get out of here with that. The world does not, the world doesn't share our logic, but it's not based on your own delusions. Get the hell out of here with that.
It's sad because, though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, though I offer my body to be burnt, if I do it without love and charity, it offers me nothing.
And there's no there's no gratitude. There's no gratitude.
That's what it basically boils down to. Why should you sacrifice for an ungrateful bastard? And it's shameful for men and women who know this trait and know this behavior and say, black men got to do better. You literally left the most refined black man ever in the 70s. when black men were actually getting more degrees, doing well for themselves, actually getting more jobs. But because you didn't want to be under that black man's thumb,
Mm-hmm. Nothing said that more so than at Trump's inauguration. You saw Barack Obama, number 44,
by himself.
walk out there by himself without Michelle.
And
The
now,
only people. Go ahead.
and now Michelle wants to start a podcast with her brother.
and her brother's about as flaming as hell. Did you see a picture of that dude?
Should I even bother to look?
Go look.
Briefly.
Go look. I'll still be here. Go look.
All right. Let's see what we're working with here. You know. She's got like what, 2 brothers, is it?
Well, the one she started a podcast with, that motherfucker wear more makeup than her.
Mm-hmm.
Does he rock the baldy?
No.
Hang on, let me look up. There's Craig Robinson. Brother-in-law, hang on.
She couldn't start a podcast with her husband, though. Remember that.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that Trump fired like half of the education department?
Oh, no. When did he do this today?
I think yesterday. Considering how far behind we are from China, I have no problem with it.
I have no issues. You should have a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's called, yeah. I'm ready for the shits. Thank you. You should have. Anytime you have kids who can't read, going to colleges. Going to college and you can't read.
Remember Dexter Manley.
Think of how embarrassing that shit is. Think of how embarrassing that shit is, man.
Made it to college and couldn't read. You were like functionally illiterate in some cases. Man. What does that tell you?
Your education system wasn't worth for shit.
They said they're going to overhaul. So how big of an overhaul are we talking about here?
When you're talking about half your goddamn educational system, it's a big overhaul, man.
Yeah, and are they going to, and I mentioned you're dealing with, not to mention, you know, most of your textbooks come from Texas. You know how they talk about certain things in history. How they're going to, you know, and civics and everything. If you're going to put in civics, my question is, all right, to what extent is it? What you're going to be teaching them? What's the objective?
You got to get
These
them.
things still need to be. A lot of this needs to be scrutinized. I know. I get what you're talking about. I know, but there's a lot of it still needs to be scrutinized, not above scrutiny.
Well,
Question what it is they're going to be putting in.
Here's the problem. You got to get to the point where these kids are not even technologically savvy when it comes to real world shit. We got a goddamn programmer right here, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
A lot of these kids are not even prepared to even start because half of them don't even know how to type.
Yep.
You have to know how to type if you're going to program. There's no getting around that. If you want to do graphic design, you still have to know how to use that keyboard because keyboard shortcuts help a lot.
Yeah, it cuts down your time in half. Think about it. Can't even write a report. Think about it. Imagine you have a police officer coming to your aid. He's trying to solve a crime. This motherfucker can't even write. They'll end up putting you as the suspect instead of the victim. How do I know? I've seen it before.
And for the folks who have learning disabilities, who've been diagnosed with some form of dyslexia or something else, they're going to need some assistance. But then again, you've had so many people who've been misdiagnosed as having a learning disability.
Do I think the United States is ready for that? Probably not, because you got a bunch of soft motherfuckers. But guess what? Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. It's gonna have to happen.
So many people. How many people have their dancing shoes on when it's time to face the music? A lot of them are going to try and moonwalk out of that room.
It's going to have to happen.
One way or another. It's either you better face the music, or there's going to be blood on the dance floor. Yes, I had to make a Michael reference here.
People may not like it, but sorry, you got to get something out of it.
Or to quote one of the people that Mr. Z likes to clown. What's the incentive?
And that's the part where I think black men need to start talking more about. You want to be in this relationship? What the fuck I get? You're already a bad picker of men. How you saying I'm a bad picker of men? Easy, because if you weren't, I wouldn't be here. So are you going to put that in her face? Yes. That's cool.
I can always find better.
It's like,
see, that's the biggest fear most women have. You leave them, and they're going to find somebody better.
You're going to have the likelihood of finding somebody better more than them.
It's not that hard. It's just you just need to have to go through some detox. You have to go you need to be detoxed from her toxic shit. And find somebody better.
Why waste your time with someone who does not love you?
I won't. Not anymore.
That's the part I tell people. If you don't think I'm great, leave me alone. I'm a big boy. I'll be okay.
I'm grown.
How you doing, Snowman?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Hey, Snowman.
You sound exhausted. You okay?
I was up here a moment ago, but then I had to go grab something for Jody.
Okay. Uh-oh. What happened now?
No, she's fine. She's fine.
Tell Jody the champ says hello.
No, because I remember this morning, you guys were talking about, anytime the Colts go, whenever it hits the fan regarding the Colts.
Oh man, please. Jody is like one of the biggest pranksters I know. And
hey,
worse than Owen Hart.
She jokes with me all the time, saying I'm an indirect link with the Colts, so I can tell them what they're doing wrong. So we were just messing with each other about that.
I don't know.
Charles, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Just had to do some clarification earlier.
Yeah, Snowman, I gotta ask you. Have you seen Stephen A. Smith's responses to LeBron James? What do you
No,
think?
and I don't give two shits. I don't give two shits.
Good
Okay.
answer.
They've been beefing with each other as long as I can remember, and people want to say the opposite. Nope, ain't doing it. Ain't getting my head in it. Ain't gonna put my head in it. I talk sports and talk about people and their chosen field of play, and I leave all the talking on the field. Whatever
Okay.
happens off the field is their business.
Okay. Fair enough.
Good move.
Because that's what's happened to sports channels now. They've gone too political and they've gone too personal.
But
No,
one
Great
question.
drama.
But one question: does it sound really suck?
Yes.
I think it's one of those things where, well, I understand you want to get your son into big lights.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I get it. Any father wants to.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to put so much pressure on my kid.
Yeah, especially after that heart
Cardiac
attack he
arrest.
had. Cardiac
Which is
arrest.
holding it, which to me is still holding him back. He rushed back. I understand wanting to play, but to me, he rushed back, and I'm called all kinds of names, and I'm like, say what you want, but look at his play on the floor. Are there any lies?
No, he's not. I'm sure his biggest fear is he might collapse on the court.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened? A player
Yes,
collapsing on the court?
Gathers.
I can't think of the dude's name. But yeah.
Hank Gathers. Loyola Marymount, April 1990, or March 1990. That's the name you're looking for. Hank Gathers. In the midst of their tournament game, their West Coast Conference tournament game, collapsed and later was pronounced dead.
Jeez.
Yes.
Did they find the cause? Cause of death?
Yes.
Arrhythmia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right there. That I can understand. Irregular heartbeat, cardiac arrhythmia, and stuff like that, because a lot of the times, it's hard to detect these kinds of conditions
It
sometimes,
is.
especially and a precondition, even through EKG. I mean, as somebody who's seen this shit happen when it comes to soccer,
Yep.
and over the years, in the last decade or so, we've seen soccer players, 20 plus years now, soccer players have collapsed and realized that some of them had an undiagnosed heart condition, which was hard to detect until it was too late. I remember, in certain leagues, some of these players, in order to continue playing, they got to have like a device similar to a pacemaker installed in them.
Yep.
But the problem is, like, prime example I can give, Danish midfielder named Christian Eriksen, during the Euro 2021 Cup, when Denmark was playing, he collapsed on the ground. They had to, and his teammates formed a human shield so the cameras couldn't watch what's going on while the paramedics, while the EMTs were trying to revive him. I remember the team captain, Simon Kjaer, and the goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel. They were like leaning. They pointed at the crowd and asked that that Eriksen's girlfriend was allowed to come onto the field, see what's going on. And you saw footage of them trying to console her, trying to say, "Just really, it's all right," doing everything they can. Some of the players, even though they had their jerseys up their noses, trying to fight the tears as they're like hoping he gets out. And once he was revived, they had blankets, covering him, so cameras couldn't get a picture of him with the mask on because they thought it was disrespectful. But there was a huge round of applause from the Danish supporters because this was in Copenhagen when this game happened, and he was able out. And then when Denmark had their next games, every team they faced, the team captain, who was the team captains, when they exchanged like these armbands as which is customary, the opposing team would bring a jersey with all the players and staffs autographing it as a show of respect and a show of solidarity. But Ericsson's case was the fact that like once they found out what was wrong with him, and once he was medically cleared, he had to have a pacemaker, put in place. But the problem was he was playing in the Italian leagues at the time, and in Italy they couldn't medically clear him for that, so he had to go back to the UK in order to professionally continue his career. Other players, once they found out they had that precondition, they were forced to go into retirement. There was a movie I remember. Was it that one show? You guys remember a show called The Dead Zone?
Yes.
No. Go ahead.
There was one of the guys from the show, Malcolm in the Middle. He was featured in that episode of that show where he was an aspiring hockey player who had that precondition. And they waited until it was too late to get him. Well, barely too late. But EKGs, even it's hard to detect them. Some of them don't even know what they're detecting.
Yeah, hey, Snowman.
Yes.
Your thoughts on the WNBA asking for more money?
Nobody cares.
You just got your answer.
Yep.
You just got your answer from a league that hasn't turned a profit in 20 plus years. They finally get their golden goose and they're trying to destroy her.
Is she still part of that league?
Yes. These are people that don't know what they have until it's gone, and it's going to be gone before they can blink. They do not know what they have. Period.
Yeah, the only reason, let's just be honest though, man. The only reason we want to see him play is to see her play again. That's in my opinion. The only reason I want to watch is see Kaiten play. Rest of y'all, whatever.
That's the only reason I want to watch.
Don't nobody want to watch
Caitlin and the Indiana. I want to see what Caitlin and the Indiana Fever doing. What the Indiana Fever do. Those are the other games I'm gonna stream anyway. I don't.
You don't have time for the bullshit.
I do not.
Yeah, Angel Reese of all people asking for a raise. Good Lord.
Sit your ass down. You only been in the league for a year.
You know what?
Can't even play basketball. Talking about
Angel Reese needs to be kicked. Angel Reese needs to be kicked out of the league once and for all. Until she decides to get it in her mind that her basketball skills are going to make her money, forget it. Because I'm tired, man. I'm tired of players in any league, no matter what chosen sport they're in, of them begging for more money and they haven't earned it.
Feeling entitled.
And the commissioner's not going to say a damn thing because she wants a piece of the pie.
Yep. I still remember Latrell Sprewell turned down that $20 million contract. Talking about I need to feed my family.
Wait a minute. How much was he? When was this?
1994.
No. It was in the 2000s.
Yeah, it was.
When he was with the Knicks?
No.
This is after.
Who was he with? The Timberwolves, I believe.
He was with the T-Wolves.
And who was offering him the $20 million?
Minnesota.
And he's from Milwaukee, right? Wait a minute. You said you need to feed your family. First of all, how many people in your family depending on you? Not to mention, a lot of these guys don't. When they get big,
I'm actually glad you said that, Namer, because that's actually why a lot of them go broke. They're feeding too many members of their family.
Yep. And who's at the head of it?
Mama.
Mama.
I rest my
Why do you
case.
think he, if I'm not mistaken, look, for Sprewell went chapter, let me look this up. If I'm not mistaken, he went chapter 11.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He did go. Oh yeah, he did. He spent 2 seasons with the T Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 seasons with the 2 seasons with the T Wolves, and this was after he was past his prime.
Yep.
His best years were with the Knicks, but let's see, legal issues he's had to deal with. He got sued for $200 million for ending the relationship with a long-term companion
Yep.
because she claimed he agreed to support her and their 4 children through college. It was he had a 70-foot yacht that was worth $1.5 million that was repossessed by federal marshals, saying he had failed to continue paying for and insuring the vessel. And he still owed like $1.3 million. This was in 2007. In 2008, the yacht was auctioned off for a little over $850,000 because he defaulted on the mortgage.
Yeah.
His
I
home
know
in
you might not
Milwaukee
be
was his home in Milwaukee was foreclosed also.
I know you might not be a
What's up?
boxing buff. What do
Go
you
ahead.
think about that new boxing league with the Sheik and Dana White?
Not familiar with it. I'll have to read up on it.
I think it might be.
What's the name of the league?
It might tickle your fancy.
Okay.
I'm gonna give
I'll
you a
take
little.
Wait.
If people say black men don't help black men get content.
I'll take a look. I'll definitely take a look. I haven't been familiar with boxing in a very long time, but this is interesting. Should be interesting. I'll take a look.
This will be a new time to be. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
Oh, hey,
Wait.
Snowman, check touch the link in the private chat. I'm sure you'll find that rant. Oh, wait a minute, you were watching. Never mind.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at this MMA junkie. Oh, he's working with the Saudis
Oh,
on this
Darius
one.
says it was 2004. So I was off
What?
by a decade. Sprewell saying I don't have enough to feed my family.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, just before he was like his 5 years of his career. I'm like, what the hell are
Like
you
my
doing?
nigga, what you got to feed the Smurfs?
No, he has to feed his
The
mother.
whole hood. It's not just his mom.
Mama.
Remember, a
Whole
lot of
hood.
them got people around them. Their circle, the inner circle of friends and whatnot. Everybody depended on them.
I remember one football player that he had to cut off like 4 or 5 Netflix subscriptions because
Mm-hmm.
his family like, oh hell no, you paying for that yourself.
Yep.
Netflix, goddamn.
Yep.
That's what the Saudi government. Okay.
When they make it, when these athletes of today make it to the league, the first thing they think of, is their family, and they take care of them before they take care of themselves. How do I know this?
Before they even get paid.
Yep. How do I know this? His name is Derrick Rose from my hometown.
Him too, damn.
And how many years did he actually play in the league?
15.
When did he officially retire?
Last year.
That injury set him back a long ways.
Yep.
Yes.
Had he not suffered that ACL, he'd have finished his career in Chicago. Guarantee it.
They might have got a ring.
Mm-hmm. Because the era was supposed to be Steph versus Derrick Rose, not Steph versus LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that to the LeBrons.
I said it a lot. LeBron sexuals still came after me. I don't care. It's the truth. The era was supposed to match Steph with Derrick Rose. And LeBron James intercepted that shit when Derrick Rose went down with an injury. Matter of fact, they screwed Derrick Rose in 2011 out of his first ring.
It says here, like he tore his ACL in his left knee in 2012 in the playoffs, and then
Game one against Philadelphia.
And then when he returned the following season, no, he was gone for the entire 2012-2013 season, and then He returned in 2013, but that November he injured his right meniscus, causing him to
Yep.
miss the remainder of that season.
Parts of 2 seasons. 3, actually, if you count 2011, 2012, when he injured his ACL against Philadelphia. Parts of 3 seasons gone.
God damn.
Parts of 3 full seasons gone. This was right after he won the MVP in 2011.
And people just like playing it off, like when you you rely on these people, like you supporting these people, but then again, you got nothing saving for yourself. You can't even build or anything like that because everybody's just leeching off you.
And everybody wants a piece of the pie when you are the owner of the pie.
What was it? Somebody
Not
said,
too many people gonna bake that bitch with you, are they?
no.
As I said, it's something I know very well.
Was it Rip Torn said in Men in Black? Everybody's your friend at the bar when you paint the tab.
Yep. When you're paying the tab, everyone feasts off of you. And when you need a feast and when you need a helping hand, they don't show up. We've all been down that road.
Oh yeah, baby.
We've
That's why
all
that
been down that road.
Chris Tucker, I remember Chris Tucker's Netflix special. We talked about like never loan relatives money. When they say they're gonna pay you back, when you ask, "Where's my goddamn money?" They're like, "Man, shit, you bugging about this? As rich as you are, motherfucker, it's
Mm-hmm.
about principle. This
It's
is why I don't want to. This is hey, I remember you don't trust
principle
friends.
one-on-one.
That's
Principle,
why I don't trust people money.
which is why I'm glad I never lent my sister money.
Yeah.
I'm glad I never, ever, ever lent my sister money, ever. Because after what happened in 2021, after my mom died, that point right there.
I borrowed money from family members, but I've always paid it back. And when they needed something from me, I know there were people. If they were good, I would give it to them because I knew they were going to pay me back, and usually they did. But
Yeah, I made the mistake of getting my family members' money. Never got it back.
yeah. One time I didn't pay it back, and it was because something happened. It was something like with one sibling, they did something to me like I didn't like. I said, "Dude, I borrowed money from you, and you want me to pay it back, right? But because you did that little foul, disrespectful shit, I'm not paying it back."
Mm-hmm.
And this is what he did something like really took involved my mental health, and he just like, and I just realized, you ain't getting that back, and that's why, that's one of the things why he and I don't talk anymore. It's not the first time I cut ties with him.
Like I said, after the tantrum my sister threw, after my mom died,
Oh,
and the way she had the balls to accuse my wife of being the reason I caught cancer.
exactly.
I cut her off then. But then I'm trying to be the good sport and go visit.
I realized.
And then I realized that shit's never changed. Shit's never going to change with her. Ever.
By the way, I'm looking up this thing about Dana White with this new boxing promotion. It's TKO Group will start a boxing promotion with Turkey Al Sheikh, and it's in the Saudi government. I mean, considering how much KSA is like especially the city of Riyadh has become like a hub for boxing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's trying to compete with Abu Dhabi because the UFC usually has there have UFC events in Abu Dhabi and UAE.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention Bahrain has the F1 racing and a few other things. Qatar hosted the World Cup and the Asian Cup. It's part of that soft power. It's like, remember when you had that golf organization that rivaled the PGA? That was backed by the Saudi government. That's all this is. And who are they trying to compete with regarding boxing wise? Golden Gloves of promotion? No, Golden Boy Promotions. I mean, I'm well aware of how much Dana White doesn't like Oscar De La Hoya.
Mm-hmm.
So, or is this just as a cover up for the fact that you got a lot of backlash for the slap box competitions?
Oh yeah, but it sells. People like it.
Do you have any idea how many people are getting CTE from that shit, concussions and whatnot?
Hey,
It sells.
all right,
Mm-hmm.
don't complain.
I remember when Jim Cornette was talking about on his podcast, and how many he went off and critiqued it.
Okay, what's my biggest dating red flag?
Oh no.
Is it being on the DL? You're on the right track. I have my answer.
Okay. Since I accidentally touched that one on my phone.
Uh-oh.
Somebody hit him with that Bill Duke line.
Does anybody want my? Okay.
Bring it. I'll answer your question for you. Bring it.
If you want me to go black pill about this chick, what's her name? Doshi? What is her name?
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? If you want me to go black pill about what the fuck she said, hit the cash app. At least hit a like.
Who?
Now, I know some people may not like me doing cash apps. Ooh. But people do support the channel. Oh Lord, you asking for cash apps, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. But and so what? I've always said people should get paid for their intellectual property.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm gonna say this. Number one. The modern chick, not just the modern black chick. I can't even just say black women, but the modern chick now has gotten so weird that it's not even cute anymore. It's not even cute. You rather be with bisexual or obviously gay men, which a lot of you have your babies by.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about you, Atlanta. Where a lot of these women can't find men, but are sleeping, not just getting the sperm, but even sleeping with these obviously gay men to get babies. Mm-hmm. And then they wonder why their sons, especially their sons, are ashamed of their fathers.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think a red flag is for a straight guy? And this is the reason why, shit is gone in a handbasket. And it's not even funny. It's not funny. That tells you that you disrespect masculinity so much. So much.
Mm-hmm.
So much that it's shameful to be a masculine man around you. But this is the same woman who in 10 more years is going to yell out, I can't find a man on my level.
Yep.
Your level of gay? What level? I can't find a man on my level. Where did all the good men go? Well,
you ran them off.
You ran them off, or you chose the gay guy.
and flaunted them.
Think about it. And I have to go back to black women. Black women, you pick your men like your political party. I know. Go ahead. I know. Go ahead, AB. Go ahead and say, God damn.
Yep.
You pick your men like your political party, weak and sassy. What's that barbecue sauce?
Oh, sweet sassy Roland.
Oh, sweet sassy rolls. And the saddest part about it is that when you actually get a masculine man in your presence, you feel threatened because you can't control nor break him. Mm-mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
And they all think,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yep. I want my man sassy. But then when you need somebody to protect you, when you need somebody to steer the children in the right way, oh, we can't even get the boys and girls. We can't do none of this shit here. Oh, you know what? I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that we like a bunch of sassy men. Yeah, pretty much.
What
mm-hmm,
else is new?
Pretty much.
been that way for a while.
You saying that we only breeding weak sons?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
If you're gonna tell me what good is this gay guy gonna do for you, or a bisexual guy, which you always think that all black men are down low,
Not the first time they've said that aloud.
but yet you will purposely go and hang around these men. Will you say the same nasty shit and call them sassy? Y'all the ones plugging in Saucy Santana and shit, not the men. Anytime that guy gets up on television to say, black women, y'all need us. Who's going to teach you how to do hair? Is that what it's about? Y'all want to learn how to do hair? Y'all want to be sassy? Wow. I want you to think about that. That's what they think of you. A straight black man is a bad black man in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
A straight black man would expose them and show how full of shit they are. Because they don't want to end up under that man. Because he would show them, hey, sit your ass down. You fucking up. Let me steer the boat. No, I'm steering the boat. You sit your ass over there, all right? You done enough. You're doing more than enough. Like you're doing way too much.
Mm-hmm. Way too much.
You're doing way too much, and way too much wrong. Little to no good, and a whole lot of wrong.
Oh, man. As the drill sergeant used to say about as wrong as two horse fucking. Very wrong.
More like two whores fighting over who's got the strap on.
Mm.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're wrong.
But it's funny as hell.
Funny, but wrong. Oh my goodness. You just gotta understand something. When I heard that shit, I'm like, what type of men are y'all getting?
And she's probably on some bullshit about it. She ain't serious about that. She's just saying that shit just to get the reaction from people.
She probably was. Knowing these stars, you know Hollywood.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hollywood and faking the funk.
Hey, take that. What's up, Diddy? No. Come here, succulent. Oh no.
What do you call yourself now? Love?
Oh no, I call him succulent.
I remember I was at the grocery store a few weeks ago, and I saw like all these. I saw some of the bottles of baby oil that are available. I was thinking, no Diddy. I'll stick to the cocoa butter.
Take
Mm-hmm.
that, take that, take that, take that, take that.
Don't start dancing like Diddy now.
Yeah. Well, don't dance like I'm in prison either.
No, gosh.
There's no bet. Sorry, Diddy, but we can't let Mr. Bentley Farnsworth come with you.
You know what he says?
What?
You think I'm locked here with you? No. You locked in here
You
with
locked
me.
in here with me, Playboy. Now
Oh
lather
no.
up. I like that. What? You ain't supposed to. No, I like that. Now
Oh
get
no.
it. Now lather up, fool.
Man, you could kiss you could suck I do all that. Oh no. Daddy, no.
See, here's a wrestling reference. This guy's like Rico.
Oh gosh.
Well,
Oh,
he's a
there was that
police.
one match
Well, he's a
in Vegas.
police
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's funny. He's a police sergeant now.
Rico, really?
Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, the Rico stuff was an act, but
Yeah.
he hated it at first, but it gave him so much notoriety.
I remember like what he did. Like, was it like he was in a, and that's his first name, Rico.
Oh my god!
And the chops, man, and the mutton chops. His real name is Americo Sebastiano Constantino.
Mm.
63. He was born and raised in Vegas. Wait, he went to his alma mater is Northwestern Military
he
and
old.
Naval Academy. 63 years old, yeah. His alma mater is he went
I didn't
to
know Rico was that
Northwestern.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy went to Northwestern Military and Naval Academy. That's in Lynn, Wisconsin, a high school. That's a military high school.
Hey, you get in there the best way you can get out.
Mm-hmm.
14-year vet in professional wrestling. He was like he debuted in '98, retired in 2012.
Hey,
He was a contestant in American Gladiators, it says here.
Yep. You'd be surprised how many people had backgrounds of different shit.
Mm-hmm.
Near the top of his class, he graduated near the top of his class and considered enrollment at West Point, but nah, he was good. He was it's settled into a career as a paramedic, which later led to an enrollment in the police academy. He was a SWAT team member at one point, which led to him becoming a bodyguard. It says here in 2005, he completed his law enforcement training in Boulder City, Nevada, outside of Las Vegas. He was a sergeant inspector for Nevada Taxi Cab Authority, and he's been like suffering health issues related to heart problems and a series of concussions. Yikes! In 2016.
Pro wrestling do that to you.
Oh yeah, there were concussions, especially back in the day especially in the 2000s, where they didn't know much about concussion protocols and heart conditions. I don't know wrestling.
Which is a blessing. Which is a blessing now. For good.
What?
If they know something about it, because they used to have dudes play with damn near their brains leaking out their ears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't hear. It's because of the concussion. Don't worry.
Always wrong, as they say.
Don't worry, Daddy Diddy will have you. I gotta hear more about this shit. Shoot.
Excuse me, somebody has to contact me. Y'all talk amongst yourselves for a quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, just looking up Rico's stuff, I'm like, wow, he's that old. I mean, a lot of these guys are getting old, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, badass Billy Gunn, he's 60, he's 61, and still in tremendous shape.
Yep.
I mean, you got guys who are like look a lot younger than they actually are. I mean, I met a couple of, I remember I had a conversation with someone and she was like, well, their pronouns was they, them, but this individual, was like kind of shocked when they looked at me because they're like, dude, you look like you're in your 20s. I said, yeah, I know. Despite the fact I'm in my 40s now.
Mm-hmm.
When they told me how old they were, I was like, they told me they were 17. I was like, do you realize you could be my own child?
Yeah, I'm old enough to call 20-year-olds babies now.
When I look at a 5-year-old now, I used to look at him as my child,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to come to the realization.
Grandchild. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, not yet, but close enough. Well, not yet, but yeah, I get your point.
Yeah.
Too. I mean,
Technically old enough to be my grandchild,
Mm-hmm.
because even looking at my great niece and my great nephews, I'm like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, it's funny because she tried to say the word child, so she's like, cha, 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 cha. And the twins, they're still baby, so they can't say it. And she's like, cha, 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 cha. So she'll just yank on my shoulder and say, if she wants my attention, she'll yank on my shoulder and lean her head on my shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
And the twins, they'll just climb. They're crawling now, so they'll just climb on top of me, and we're all asleep.
How old are they? The twins?
All the great. Well, you can either say great nephews and great nieces or grand nieces. Same thing. It means the same shit. The oldest is 15. The next two below are 8 and 7. Then the next one below was 15 months. Then the next are 5 months. The twins.
Oh, I got you beat. My oldest great nephew, I think he's 27.
Oh, God damn. God
26,
damn.
20,
You did.
26, 27. The youngest, I believe, is 4 or 5. 4 or 5 years old. 5 years old. Yeah, 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And given some of their ages, I might have some greats I don't know about. But
Yeah. Hey, Charles.
Yes,
Since
sir.
we're talking about, guys who were, law enforcement or in the military and professional wrestling, Road Dogg comes to mind.
I actually have grandchildren now, and my oldest is going to be 14. My oldest grandchild is going to be 14.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she's the ringleader.
Anastasia.
Anastasia is the ringleader.
Oh, the little shenanigans you have to deal with from those little monsters.
Oh my gosh. My baby grandchild is now 3. And that's Milani.
Hey, that reminds me of a TikTok though. You remember that scene on Friday when they said Debo's coming Debo and everybody's trying to hide their stuff?
Yes.
Well, there's TikToks where there's like Debo's coming Debo, and it's a little baby crawling into the room.
That would be my grandson.
I'm like, that's too funny.
That would be my grandson. Both my grandsons, actually.
God rest Tiny Lister's soul, though.
Yes, indeed.
And shut up, Tiny Lister, because he said, you notice you never seen me play a feminine role.
Yeah,
no.
and
He
he
hurt
spoke
you though.
about, huh?
No, he'd mess you up because he was like, I don't play that shit.
And he was very, very into his Christianity,
Yeah.
and yes, actors who are Christian can cuss. It's called acting, folks. I think Rico might have started. Well, Rico was on American Gladiators
Yeah, he was. I mentioned that earlier.
in the '90s, so he might have done.
He was a contestant.
Yeah,
he was a contestant in American
and
Gladiators.
he probably did some training. You got some guys who are. If you're a SWAT guy, you're athletic. Okay, let's not get that straight. If you're a SWAT guy,
He
you're
wa-
athletic.
he went to the Northwestern Military Naval Academy High School.
Yeah,
Graduated near the top of his
he's not a
class at one
slouch.
point.
He's not a slouch.
He almost enrolled in West Point.
I mean, that means two things. He's not a slouch, and he's not an idiot. He's a physical. If he can make it to West Point, and he can make it to the military academy, he can do a lot. He was not a bum.
He's no bum. He's like, nah, not for me. He could have gone to West Point, but he thought, nah, and he ended up become a paramedic, and from there became he enrolled in the police office in the police department and became SWAT.
The baby start crawling around.
Is this the?
Hold up.
Oh no!
It's a little girl. It's a baby girl.
Baby.
Oh my God.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, y'all? Oh, you gotta send that shit to me. What's up, Joe?
Hey, send it to me too.
Funny.
Send it to me too. Play that again.
I'm gonna tell
Play
you
that again.
There's a reason why my great nieces and nephews haven't come to my house yet. I always go to theirs because I don't want them to get into none of my knives or nothing like that.
Right.
Your house is not baby proof.
There was only one gun I keep really, really, really loaded on a regular, but it's on me at all times. So I don't have a fear of that, but the knives or the sharp stuff, I don't want them to get into that. But she was like that when she was crawling, like so cute. Look at that. Play that again. Debo.
DJ Pooh. I'm gonna tuck mine in. No, you ain't.
Look at that cute baby.
Oh, she is so cute. And that's how my father's tickled.
That's
how he's tickled about his youngest great grandchildren. Like she would go up the steps, and you would think she could go down the steps and go up the steps. Beep beep beep, and it's like she got to move her whole leg because the legs are so short. Beep, 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 beep. Some reason she likes Anita Baker and Frankie Beverly for some reason.
There you go, Charles.
I wonder why.
Oh my God, she is like so funny. Debo.
Oh gracious.
Yo,
oh my goodness.
Oh my gracious.
I think I'm all cleared out mentally. Like I think I feel good. I got everything off my chest.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back
to
I made it
and take my tail to bed and be in bed before 11 o'clock.
Yeah, you got about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. I've already done my prep for my hockey game tomorrow night.
Oh, who you covering?
Edmonton Oilers and New Jersey Devils.
Edmonton Oilers.
My first favorite team when they had Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, Yari Curry, and their goaltender was Grant Fuhrer.
To the New Jersey Devils?
Yeah, they're playing the New Jersey Devils.
Martin Brodeur's old team.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Shouldn't you have old McCoffey as doing color commentary?
He might be busy tomorrow.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, this is one I'm gonna dive in and just start doing it. That's how I
Yeah,
learned.
I don't know any. All the stars I know about have long since retired.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
Mario Lemieux,
Super Mario,
Peter Forsberg,
Peter Forsberg,
um, Paul Correa,
Paul Correa,
Sergey
Patrick,
Fedorov. Oh yes, I
Sergey
used to be a hockey
Fedorov,
watcher.
Patrick Waugh.
Patrick Waugh, probably one of the
I
greatest
tried to
goalies of
get
all
into
time.
hockey back in the '90s. I
The
tried to get back into.
only the only 3-time Conn Smythe Trophy winner. It's MVP of the playoffs. Is Patrick
Mhm.
Waugh. He did it
Hmm.
twice with Montreal and once with Colorado.
Oh, I didn't know he played for Montreal.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
Montreal.
yeah, he was. That's who he started his career with. He started with the Canadiens.
I gotta ask, no man, how many championships do the Montreal Canadians
27.
have? Yeah,
27.
it's a lot.
Well, Stanley's.
Yes,
Yeah.
God damn.
because I had an old almanac and all you saw was like Montreal. Like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question.
They were
Stone Man.
dominant like the Yankees.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Should I go into the Hall of Fame for my high school for wrestling?
Hell yes.
Should I tell you the stats?
The stats
Ed.
and the action speak for themselves. I was wrong. It's not 27, AB. It's 23.
Ooh, still a lot. God damn.
That's still.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay. You win a championship your first year. 4 more in 2 more years. You were top 2 in your city and county in the region. Top 5 in the state consistently. Undefeated for 17 straight matches. Bronze medal in Germany. Number 2 in the state of Maryland for freestyle. Would that be enough?
Yes.
Yep.
More than enough.
95% takedown. Well, 97. 95% takedown defense. It was just as hard at taking me down as easy as it's me to take people down.
Mhm.
Like a rock, he gets stronger every day. So I might be considered for the Hall of Fame for my high school coming up. So let's cross your fingers.
Mm.
You're in.
I want to be first ballot. First ballot. We're gonna get if me and my buddy said they got this league for people 40 plus for freestyle wrestling. He said if you decide it, I'm gonna get the snowman to call my matches. I'm back, man. Pump me up with all the tests. Where's the test? And I ain't talking about that shit to get into your fucking college either.
Yeah, I won't lie though. What got me into hockey was watching the Mighty Ducks movie.
Oh,
And you know what's funny? I'm gonna say this. I might do a very important show. Is testosterone right for you?
Mm.
Yeah.
how much testosterone?
Natural levels.
Which
I'm
varies
not
from person to
saying you
person.
go- I'm
There's an
not saying
optimal
gamma.
range.
I'm not saying gamma rays. Males' range is usually around 500 to 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Give or take.
So
Within that optimal range, depending on the person, you know.
if you start getting stronger, the madder you get, you might be on the wrong shit.
Yeah.
Okay, calm down, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk smash. I'm like, wait.
Hulk bored. Hulk make OnlyFans.
Oh God.
Hulk not dumb. Hulk smart. Hulk counts to 20. 21 with pants off.
You'd be surprised the number of guys who've been making a killing on OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
Consider the number of, everybody talks about the simps on a lot of simps on OnlyFans following women. You'd be surprised how many, go ahead.
Find out. Go ahead. I'll
What I was about to say was, you'd be surprised the number of guys, straight or otherwise, who've been making a killing on OnlyFans, considering that there's a big market for them within the gay community and whatnot. Hey, they're still men at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys like to see certain things. I'm like, hey, you cater to that, and some people will make a killing for it. More so than some of the women, but they keep it under wraps. Right. Good night. Sorry to leave you with that kind of thought, Charles. Brian.
You're fine. All right. I'll see y'all in the morning if you come in to the chat. Then Friday, I'm on the road because my wife has to give a tour at her job. And I'm going to be in between 3 sets of school crowds, Purdue, IU, and IU Columbus. And I might be doing
my best to the big dog.
Baseball games.
And don't forget, folks, thank you for your support. I love you all. Oh, man, thank you for the Cash App support. Everybody, Dapper Dons, a student attendant, Kareem Austin, both of y'all for the $10 holler. Thank you, brothers. That's why when a lot of these dudes try to talk shit about us, remember something. There's always good men to stand in the path of ne'er-do-wells.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We don't do beef over here. Beef only gets fried on grills.
I know that's right.
You know, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you, once. I don't go back and forth. I said my piece. They can say whatever. They can open up whatever streams. I don't care. We're on to bigger and better things. Let's educate our people, not downgrade them. Woo! Thank you, AB. Woo! Thank you, Naaman. Woo! Thank you, Snowman. And we are out, folks.
Night night.